And we are live. This is RNVP Sports and Music, episode 4. We made episode 4, guys. Say what's up.
Yeah.
What up? What
So,
up?
How are y'all gentlemen doing this fine, luscious night?
I'm good. Work been tragic this week, but I'm good.
Yeah.
It's been the struggles this week. I had probably the saddest sequence of events for y'all who hold debit cards. So lost my wallet. But aside from debit cards, I just lost my wallet, right? And on the same night I lose my wallet, I get into a wreck. Right? So I don't have my driver's license, so obviously I get cited for not having your license presentable. And then I get a replacement debit card yesterday, but I don't have my wallet. So I go do my business, get back to my car to go home and realize, oh, my debit card's gone. So I go back on campus to go get my wallet, found my wallet with my now deactivated debit card, still can't find my debit card. So now it is Friday. I have a wallet with no cash, a useless debit card, and nothing to show for it. But otherwise, I'm still alive. It's been a good week.
Dang.
That
is tragic. Jeez. I was gonna say I thought I was having a bad week, but dang. Ooh. I mean, it started out, kind of iffy, but now it's gotten better. I got some good news, but I'll share with you guys when we get off air.
Swag. If it is what I think it is, swag.
Let's just say it's starting to happen. Let's just say that. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is good news. This is a good night.
Right.
School guys.
What happened to Jerron's intro? Friendly Texas Ranger.
No.
Spider-Man. What? That's been like a month and a half now.
Yeah, but we all read that now. You gotta it's on site for.
I ain't toting no guns right now, though. So
yeah,
I ain't got no horses to ride around. I ain't playing Red Dead right now.
You need that 44 Magnum.
You're not playing Red Dead,
right?
No, I'm not playing. I don't have Red Dead yet.
Yeah, I think Jerron, you don't like Red Dead, right?
No, I don't like it. Just for one, I'm playing Destiny too much, and two,
that's right.
And two, I'm on broke boy status this week.
Oh yeah,
it's rents due. So
okay. I respect, sir. All right.
My week, school, fam, just school. We got like 4 more weeks left for the semester, so just trying to finish that strong. Just very tedious. For the record,
man, that's why he got straight A's. Come on,
Oh no! No. And that's a good segue, Jerron, to my advice for the night, which is never, ever get a 70-year-old Nigerian man who wants to retire and is very ornery to teach you statistics. All right, let's get into our.
Oh man, that just sounds like a train wreck. Man,
it's bad. Let's get into our topics. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's get into our topics. I don't even know what to now I'm mad all over again. All right. The NFL. It was a busy week in the NFL, guys. These trades this weekend is probably the matchup of probably the 2 best matchups of the season. You got the Packers, Patriots, and the Saints and Rams, but we'll get into that later. But let's talk about these trades because this affects one person in this glorious podcast's team. Jerron, how you feel about going to your team, bro?
Hey, we can. My boy wins me all the help he can get, so I like it. It's only a 3rd round pick. I think we got like a 1st and 2 seconds left still or whatever. So it works. 3rd round pick, go to take, so I can catch the ball, make plays after catch. So it works. Even though the Redskins is like, we're just gonna sign quick dicks to cancel that out. But whatever.
All right. John, question for you. For your Falcons, what do you want to see after this bye week, bro? Y'all play the Redskins. So what do you want to see?
I want to see a W. That's what I want to see. A W. Gosh. My thing is I'm glad they beat the Giants going into the bye. They should be rested right now. So
Can
really,
you, can
they
you
should be
really count
confident.
that though? It's the Giants. Like if y'all lost
I
that
mean,
game, there was no hope.
I'm going to count it because one is we are playing like our defense is bare bones. We don't like we said earlier in the previous podcast, there's a lot of injuries. So we're just trying to make it through the season. At least, I'll take it as a 500 team, hopefully better. But at the end of the day, they need to get a winning streak going because they're like the fourth seed in the NFC South, and it's a very tough division. And so they have to pretty much, I would like to see them win all their games, although I'm sure they're going to lose maybe one or two. That's okay. But, I want them to finish out strong this year, at least, because I don't know. I like to see them end up being a wild card team or get into the playoffs some kind of way. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Derek, how about your Patriots? What
Well,
about that?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. I just want to talk about the Eagles real quick.
Okay.
Why didn't they go and trade with the Lions? Why not just trade for LeGarrette Blount? Y'all need like a bell cow running back you can give the ball to who's big and strong. That's
What was his contract?
I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but,
he making
okay,
money.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
Golden Tate is only a half a season rental for us.
Yeah,
His contract is.
You gave up a third-round pick for half the season, in which you guys are 3-4, 4-4.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because you gotta remember we're like in terms of cap room, we're like the bottom of the league next off season. So like even having those draft picks is like we probably won't be able to sign all our draft picks. Like when it comes to cap, we strapped, bro.
Yeah, but you can. There are players, that you could cut, restructure. There's always a way around that. I'm saying,
there is. Yeah, Howie Roseman gonna figure it out, but
you guys' biggest problem was that you didn't have a consistent running back you could hand the ball off to. So
all of them were hurt.
Yeah, that's the thing. So,
but LeGarrette Blount, can he rejoin a team that he was on last year? Isn't there like a rule you can't do that? Like
you can trade for you could trade for a player. The thing is,
but wasn't he on the squad last year?
No, he left as a free agent.
Yeah.
There's the thing in the NFL or in any league where if you get traded and then you get released or something like that, you can't just re-sign with your old team.
Yeah, you have to clear waivers. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So but he's still on a roster, so he could just get traded. There's no stipulation. He left as a free agent. So it's because Howie, whatever his name is, he's usually spot on with the trades. You know what I mean?
I think they decided that to give Carson Wentz another weapon, then because they still trying out that Adams dude that we signed off the practice squad. So,
all right. I mean, running backs, good running backs, not easy to find, but decent running backs aren't hard to find. So I can see that there.
Because the Adams kid, he didn't have a bad game last game. So like you just keep switching him out with Clements, and it might work. Give Wentz another weapon to throw to. We'll see what happens.
And for our listeners, the only reason why I ask is, the Eagles are the defending world champions. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to get into an Eagles fan's head because my team, the Patriots, and I don't mean to exasperate it, we didn't really make any moves, and we were in the trade rumor cycle. We were, I guess, contenders for Demaryius Thomas. We were interested in Golden Tate. Nothing happened. Like what I wanted to see personally as a Patriots fan was either a really good, not a really good, but a decent linebacker who could cover out in open space to maybe get some tackles on running backs like Kareem Hunt or Le'Veon Bell if he comes back or whatever. Or I wanted to see an edge rusher. And because those are two things we've been devoid of pretty much in recent memory for the Patriots. So, yeah, nothing really happened for the Patriots. I'm not surprised, but Belichick does a good job, and I say he does a good job because we've had sustained success of not overpaying for commodities. So, I mean, I think our trade really happened with Josh Gordon, and we're hoping Gronk gets healthy. We're hoping Josh Gordon gets acclimated. Julian Edelman comes back into the fold. we're still a 6-2 team. So realistically, you're hoping, I guess that your personnel continues to buy in, that, they execute, because 6-2 doesn't suggest that any major changes need to happen. So overall, I'm not disappointed. I would have liked to see more fireworks, but that volatility doesn't lend itself to the success that I've seen the Patriots have. So honestly, I can't complain.
And
I was gonna say I see the Patriots going to the Super Bowl again. I hate saying that, but they're really good. They're really good.
The AFC is not the wet sponge it used to be.
It's
in terms of it being like a 1 or 2 team division.
Boo boo.
No,
it's a boo conference. There's like literally one division that's like literally trash. Like if we just really want to think about it, like Houston might be the best team in the AFC South, but all the rest of those teams are terrible.
Terrible, yeah.
Like you play in a division that is terrible.
That is true.
The Patriots, the Patriots play in a terrible division.
Yeah, it's super easy for us to win that division because there's just no consistent quarterback play. There has been consistent quarterback play in that division since really Mark Sanchez. I'm not even going to really count Ryan Tannehill because I haven't seen Ryan Tannehill win a playoff game. I've seen Mark Sanchez beat the Patriots in playoff games.
Well, no, the defense beat the Patriots,
but he scored enough points. Is my point. And he was there long enough for him to get through.
That's fair. Yeah. What do you want to see against the Packers? Like, what do you want to see?
I mean, it would be nice if our defense looked as well as it did against the Bills, but it's never going to happen. So honestly, I think that game is going to come down to how healthy is Aaron Rodgers really? Because the thing about the Patriots is we are absolutely terrible at defending quarterbacks that can extend plays with their feet, whether it be giving themselves more time in the pocket or just running for the first down. We saw it against Mitch Trubisky. We saw it against Blake Bortles. And we've seen it. We saw it with what's his face? Oh boy, in Kansas City.
Yep,
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. The Patriots don't have a great pass rush. So what they like to do is they like to try to get these quarterbacks to get coverage sacks, either throw it away or to try to hold on to the ball too long, maybe throw a pick, maybe let our slow defensive lineman get to them. We do have an okay edge rusher in Trey Flowers, but he's not a household name. He's not a guy you guys are going to know about. You might see him make a play in a big game, maybe in the Super Bowl. Dante Hightower, he's looked better, but at the beginning of the season, everyone was talking about how slow he's looked. So honestly, as I digress, I'm trying to get back to the point. If Aaron Rodgers is 100%, if he has his legs underneath him, obviously we know what he can do like with his arm. But if he can sustain that with his leg, from what we saw Aaron Rodgers do to a superior defense with the Rams, I wouldn't be surprised if they could put up at least 30, 35 points. And I'm probably going to give Aaron Rodgers at least 30 points because he's that good. Like I can see him getting 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Maybe he throws four touchdowns. Maybe he throws for 3. They run it in for 1. But I'm going to spy him 4 touchdowns. The Packers defense actually looked good against that Rams offense. I don't know how good Jared Goff really is though, because he gets to play with Todd. He gets to play with Todd Gurley, and I think we can all say Todd Gurley. Like if the NFL was fair, if it wasn't such a quarterback-centric league, I think Todd Gurley would be the league's leading candidate for the MVP.
Of course.
But everyone likes to, gush over quarterbacks. So we're looking at a first-year starter in Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees, who are very good players in their own right. But I don't know if I can say either one of them is more important to their team than Todd Gurley. So to see the Packers defense really make Jared Goff look uncomfortable, it makes me afraid. But then again, I can't really tell you how good that guy is because he plays with the best running back in the league currently. So I say all that to say I usually would say the Patriots could score 5 touchdowns on the Packers defense because it was customarily easy to say the Packers defense was not that good. They just traded away their starting free safety. I don't even know if Bill Belichick will have enough time to throw that wrinkle in there, but I'm sure that's something Tom Brady's going to target. You know what I mean? Because Tom Brady loves to pick on guys that shouldn't be in the game. That's actually something he's really good at. So honestly, I see this game being somewhat of a shootout, like a 38
I agree.
game.
Mm-hmm.
The defenses just aren't – they don't have star power. They don't have anyone that can really stop anyone else on that team. I mean, we have decent corners. Our linebacker play is like moderately okay, but our defensive line just doesn't generate the pressure that would even make Aaron Rodgers need to make exceptional plays. You know what I mean?
Right.
Aaron Rodgers can just make the right play and beat us. So he can make exceptional plays nearly 100% of the time. And that's what's so scary about it. The only thing that stops Aaron Rodgers sometimes really is his own team.
Yep.
So it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm excited. I'll probably be at work, but I'll find a way to BS and take an hour break or something, and just watch it on my phone. But yeah, it's going to be really, really. It's going to be it might be game of the year. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it's
Absolutely.
if it's as good as the Kansas City games this year, then yeah, most definitely. It should. Like I think the Kansas City Patriots game is probably the best game of the season so far.
I definitely agree.
Definitely.
Yeah. But this weekend we have 2 games coming up that can have that potential. So I'm gonna go down the list right quick. No, we're not gonna talk about my 49ers because
we didn't finish on the trade yet.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to go down the list and get what everybody felt about their team. We're not talking about the 49ers because my quarterback wanted to play Adrian Peterson and tore his ACL. So I'm still not.
He was doing.
I just crushed the Raiders though.
He was doing.
It's the worst team in football.
Give him credit where credit's due. They crushed the Raiders.
No. That's the worst team in football, coached by the worst coach in football.
Hey, but they crushed them. They did their job. Give them credit.
Okay.
No, I'm not giving them credit.
I'll
give Kyle Shanahan. The only person I'm going to give credit for is I think Kyle Shanahan is the coach of our future. I hope he's there for 10, 15 years. It sucks that he will not have Jimmy Garoppolo this season. I thought we were going to have at least a 500 season this year with him healthy. That's not the case, but he can clearly coach because he took a cat that was a undrafted free agent and he looked awesome last night. So
against the worst team,
yeah, like the coaching and the personnel on our squad is not the thing that I'm mad about. It's little things. So that's the only thing I have to say about the 49ers. I did want to ask y'all about the trades. So we got Demaryius Thomas to the Texans, Golden Tate to the Eagles, and there's one more I'm forgetting.
Got Amari Cooper to the Cowboys and HaHa Clinton-Dix to the Redskins.
Okay, yes. So my question to everybody is, what is the most impactful trade and why? I'm gonna start with John.
I'm kind of curious to see what HaHa Clinton-Dix is gonna do against the Falcons Sunday. So I'm kind of curious about that one. That's the one I'm curious about. Although I do see where Philly's coming from when they got what was his name again? I'm so bad.
Golden Tate.
Golden
Tate. Yes. Yeah. I see where they're coming from with that. You know, they do have an unfinished roster, and I get it. They need a receiver and everything. So I do understand why they went that route. But that's my take on it. I'm just kind of curious to see how the Redskins and the Falcons game and that new pick that they picked up. It'd be interesting to see what they do with them. So that's it. That's my 2 cents.
John, so it's HaHa Clinton-Dix for you. Because you just want to see what the Redskins look like and how that might affect the game.
Exactly.
Derek, what trade you feel like is the best?
I mean, I gotta agree with John, but not because I'm for pretty much the same reason. Like the Redskins are quietly one of the best teams in football, in my opinion. They have
a hot take. I think they're leading the worst division in football yet. But
when I say best teams in football, Jake, like you could be a top 10 team and not be a Super Bowl contender, but you're still one of the best teams in football.
Yeah, what's their record? Like 5-3? They 5-3, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think they're 5-3.
That's decent. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk.
Yeah.
That's good for the Redskins for what I thought they were gonna be this year. Yeah, that's good.
They have decent quarterback, and they have a good defense. Like DJ Swearinger is the top rated safety in the National Football League, and right behind them is Clinton Dix. So if he can really take, like, you got to understand, one of the things that made the Seattle Seahawks so dangerous was the fact that they had two top flight safeties in Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying either one of these guys is as good as those guys, but if you have that combination of guys that could really help your cornerbacks so that the cornerbacks aren't terrified for their lives about getting burnt, the cornerbacks can get more aggressive. You know what I mean? The cornerbacks can do more because they trust, if I don't get this right, if I don't jump this route the correct way, at least I have my safety to come over the top and tackle. And those guys, like Clinton Dix, he's made mistakes, yeah. Clinton Dix, like, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say that he hasn't missed tackles or just made bad decisions in general. But, you know, it comes with being a football player, especially on a team that is Mike McCarthy coached. I don't think Mike McCarthy generally does a good job of coaching anyone on the field. But that's a different topic for a different day. So, yeah, I think the Redskins trade was really good. I just don't understand the other trades. Like Amari Cooper, I kind of get, because you want to give Dak an elite weapon, quote unquote. And maybe Amari Cooper was playing with an incompetent coach, so he still is an elite receiver. But last year he wasn't that great. So you're giving a unproven quarterback, or I wouldn't say unproven, but still unproven quarterback back, a weapon who is still kind of shaky, and a division that still could be won.
Right.
It's just a gamble. And then the Eagles, to me, like I said, I feel like they could have filled a void more completely with a third-round pick. I feel like they could have gotten a tackle, a guard, somebody to help their line, or a running back. Maybe two players for a third-round pick. A third-round pick is not, even if they make Super Bowl and they win it, that's the equivalent of like a fourth-round pick. You can get serviceable NFL players for that. I know Golden Tate is, you know, a really good player, but the thing about it is you're giving what's his face another weapon, but they already have a slot receiver. He can go outside, and I guess the conventional wisdom is if he's your number one or number two, that bumps down that makes everyone else's matchup easier. So now Jordan Matthews gets to go against number 3 DBs. You know what I mean? I get that, but still, to me, I feel it's really, unless you have a generational talent or really great talent, it's better to just go and make your deficient positions less deficient than try to overload on a category, especially receivers who only really catch, you know, or get targeted a certain amount of times in the game. And then the Texans, it's more of the same. What Deshaun Watson, to me, needs more than anything else is an offensive line.
Jesus Christ.
He has a generational talent in DeAndre Hopkins. I know Fuller, their other wide receiver, got injured. But to me, I feel like DeAndre Hopkins, you have to make sure he gets through the season. And I get, you know, you can maybe argue Demaryius Thomas does things on your team, but we're not even sure he's the same player. Now, he hasn't had a competent quarterback in years, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt. But he is, you know, a guy in his 30s. So, all in all, I just think the Redskins, their trade made the most sense to me, other than, you know, trying to upgrade a quarterback. But Alex Smith is honestly having a good season. So, yeah, the Redskins, definitely.
Okay. He is. And I want to say, I looked up their record. The Redskins are 5-2. But, yeah, I agree with you on that, Derek. I do think it's a good pick. And I'm curious. I'm curious about what's going to happen on Sunday.
All right. John, who do you think?
Okay, so the Redskins, like they said, are the ones that won this trade deadline, because if you looked at Clinton Dix, he actually is having one of his better seasons right now. He's actually playing really well. So to go pick him up and put him on the defense that actually playing really decently right now, you upgraded your defense, and you have a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He doesn't throw it down the field a lot, but he ain't gonna give the other team the ball either. So
he's the anti-James Winston.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, you strengthen your defense with a game manager quarterback. You're leading the division. I mean, if it works out, they could win this division now with that. The Cowboy with Amari Cooper. If Amari Cooper, that's what he was his first 2 years, then that's a good pickup for Dallas. I wouldn't have gave up around the first round pick, but it's whatever. Jerry Jones is what he want to do. The Eagles with Golden Tate, I mean, expect to see him and Nelson Aguilar on a lot of screenplays or like handoffs with the backfield and run it. You expect to see, since we don't have a running game, I expect to see a lot more of that. Or those stupid short 2-yard screen type plays where they run another 20. Expect to see those. That's why I feel like they got Golden Tate. And the Texans, if Demaryius Thomas can be another target for Deshaun, and it works out for me. They already know they're going to win the division, so I think they're just gearing up for playoffs at this point.
I'm going to break with y'all. I think the best trade is the Demaryius Thomas trade. Honestly, they got him for a 7th round pick, and then they got a 4th round pick with Demaryius Thomas. The reason why is because they have a guy at quarterback that looks like, if they can protect him, to be a guy that can get them to a Super Bowl. Now, I've always been on Deshaun Watson since he was at Gainesville in Georgia. I've always thought he had NFL talent. I've always thought that he was the best quarterback coming out, not Mitch Trubisky his first year. His first 9 games last year were amazing. And now that you see that he's fully healthy, he can clearly run that offense. And he clearly is not one of these typical spread offense guys. He is translated as well to the NFL as Carson Wentz has, in my opinion. He's just been hurt. Carson Wentz has, but Carson Wentz has at least gotten a year. If he didn't get hurt, he was going to be the MVP of the league. So I think Deshaun has that type of talent. And when you have the guy who tears his ACL for the whole season go down, and that guy's one of his favorite targets, and you already know people are going to roll coverage to DeAndre Hopkins' side, to go get Demaryius Thomas, a guy who is probably one of the best yak receivers in the last 10 years, and he hasn't really been getting any run with the Broncos, and you put him on the team with the Texans, who, Jerron said, want to win that division. They have a very good defense. Their front seven is one of the best front sevens in the league. They might have one of the best defensive lines in the league, and they might have the best combo of ends in the league. You put that in the playoffs with a Demaryius Thomas who is now motivated ever since they won the Super Bowl. He's on a playoff caliber team, and then you add a type of weapon like that to a young quarterback who is still developing. Yeah, man. I wouldn't want to play the Texans, especially if they start protecting him better. I wouldn't want to play the Texans.
Yeah, that would be a very scary team to come into your building in a divisional round. That would be tough to play. If you're the Chiefs, the Chiefs, especially a team like that doesn't really play great defense, or the Patriots, that would be tough to deal with. So I can see your point there. My only thing is, this is all for naught if your quarterback gets his bell rung the right way. That's my point. I understand they're trying to make a run, but to me, I look at them and they are a draft away, not a piece away. And to me, this is more of next year we're going to be a powerhouse. This year, to me, I look at Deshaun Watson and I say, personally, just outside the organization, because I'm sure they have faith in their offensive line and their coaching, and they talk to Deshaun and tell him to go down, don't try to extend plays, you're too important, you're the future of our franchise. But we've seen time and time again, either offensive linemen sell hard and you end up having a quarterback get injured, or a quarterback tries to make a play when he shouldn't. He tries to juke, he tries to cut, he tries to run out of bounds, and then boom, he misses games he shouldn't be missing. So I do agree giving a potential superstar quarterback a potential superstar weapon, or a former superstar weapon in at least, is a great decision most of the time. But if your offensive line at one point had given up the most sacks in the league, my point is, unless you're going to enact some crazy quick passing game, it doesn't make much sense to invest in weapons when your quarterback won't be able to hit the ball out to them, especially Demaryius Thomas, who to me, he's a yard after the catch type of guy, but Demaryius Thomas to me has always been scary as a deep threat. He's always been.
That's what I mean, Derek. Like people forget that he is a 7-time Pro Bowler.
Oh yeah, he's legit. He's legit. I'm just saying we've seen guys in situations where they leave bad teams and they're all pro, all caliber guys, and they come and they're just not the same guy. You saw it with Nnamdi Asomugha. You don't remember when he got on after leaving the Raiders? It was like Nnamdi Asomugha, Darrelle Revis, Joe Hayden, all the best corners in the league. Nnamdi Asomugha
he went to the Eagles and was trash.
He was exposed. And it's not like he was trash when he was over there with the Raiders. The issue was you go to a different system, go to a different team, you have all these expectations.
Wasn't that Chip Kelly was the coach back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, Chip Kelly.
I blame that all on coaching. That's not his fault.
Yeah, and plus, Nnamdi had played a lot longer football than Demaryius Thomas has at his point in his career. I think Nnamdi Asomugha was in his early 30s when he had that.
Demaryius is 30, isn't he?
Yeah, 30.
He's 30.
30, yeah. Like,
okay, my major point was overall, get your quarterback protected. We've seen too many good quarterbacks. So how many years of Andrew Luck's career have we seen him just not be efficient?
Yeah, they've probably taken 4 years off that man's career. If we really want to be honest. Yeah.
Like how
that roster was so terrible. Derek, it's hard to rebuild in the NFL, and I think the NFL doesn't even know that. It's really, 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 really. They don't like player fluidity in free agency. They have a very hard salary cap, and it's all done throughout the draft, right? And finding gems. And honestly, the NFL really shouldn't be like that. The NFL should really honestly take its model from the NBA. They should allow player fluidity. They really should.
I feel like it should be more, to me, I feel like the MLB has probably one of the best free agency and trade. Like they have one of the best free agent and like just what am I trying to say? They are like aside from arbitration, I feel like arbitration.
Wait, you mean their CBA? You mean their collective bargaining?
Their CBA for players is probably
no, but Derek, but you know why, right?
Yeah, because baseball players. I'm gonna go to a place right now on this podcast. If you look at the percentages of what am I trying to say? Of like race in terms of the leagues, you see the MLB, you see the NBA, you see the NFL, right? I'm gonna take it there. I feel like
there's no brothers playing in the MLB, Derek. We know.
That's true.
I mean, that's what you're trying to say. And yeah, of course. And that's sad because, that was kind of the first sport we were,
right.
And, it really went from, like, people forget that, like, MLB has gone from, like, 40% black to, like, 10% black, right? And it's crazy because the MVP of the AL, of the unfortunate World Series champion Boston Red Sox.
Shout out to my Red Sox.
Their best players are black. If we just want to keep it 100, like Derek would tell you, Xander Bogaerts, black. Michael Bradley Jr., black.
Mookie Betts, black. David Price, black.
Yeah, like these are guys who, if they don't play, they don't win. So what you're trying to say is you hope to have the MLB brothers playing the MLB because they get paid. Is that what it is?
I hope to have the same type of rights for players in the MLB as the NBA. I feel in these predominantly black leagues, it's almost just easier to get these guys to kind of like I don't want to say bend. I'm gonna say roll over and take bad deals, or because I
don't think in the NBA they do that.
It definitely is, especially in the NFL where guys live game check to game check. You can't have a holdout in the NFL. Not a serious one. NBA it's a bit easier, but even still, it's pretty difficult. In the MLB,
no, Derek, it's not difficult.
It's so much stronger in the MLB than the NFL and the NBA that the MLB, the owners won't try half the stuff that they would try in the NFL or the NBA.
Well, Derek, it's easier to strike in the NBA because there's 15 guys on your roster, right? And everybody's getting paid. Mm-hmm. The 15 guy on the bench is making $3 million. He's making more than a backup linebacker or maybe some starting players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? It's easier. Like if God forbid the NBA was to strike next year, right? So when the CBA is up in 2 years, I think it's up in 2 years. If they were to go on strike, they could literally, the NBA basketball players, honestly, and I'm being serious, could like literally sit for 2 seasons. And I know it sounds crazy, but the superstars can. And that's what we watched it in the NBA for. Like the top 15, top 20 guys getting paid right now are the superstars. They can legit just sit. They can sit for 2 years and be okay. Right? Mm-hmm. It's hard to do that in the NFL because the CBA has structured it that way, right? The difference between baseball is that baseball has notoriously had U.S. level attorney, arbitration court prosecutors, and arbitration judges that have been fair to the players and the owners, and that the Players Association for Major League Baseball is one of the strongest because their whole squad is full of United States attorneys, ex-attorneys. That is like literally the reason why. Like they're like, and it's been that way probably since the early 90s. That's when Major League Baseball's been started. That's when Major League Baseball started making money.
Right,
like,
started kicking off. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like that helps my point though.
No, but the difference is, Derek, is that baseball is a sport
that's conducive.
The owners, you have to build a culture, right? Mm-hmm. Between the owners and the players in order for you to achieve any type of like
success,
symbiotic relationship or success, right? The NBA owners treat they're in like Joe Lacob for the Warriors is not going to treat Steph Curry like the York family treated Colin Kaepernick. Right? They're not going to do that. Steph makes the money. Steph Curry is the sole reason they are getting a new arena next year. Right? They're moving into a new arena next year. He's the sole reason they're able to fund that, and they understand it. And they're like, as long as we have a symbiotic relationship, both parties will make money. Of course, the owner's going to make more money, but at least Steph is going to make $40 million a year. That's on the court. He's fine with that, right? It's people like Le'Veon Bell, who is literally the key to your team, and all he does at 26 and like a few banged up injuries here and there, no major surgery, right? No, and he hasn't been in trouble in 2 years, so he's clearly matured. All he asks is, pay me what I'm owed.
Pay me like a number 2 receiver.
Yeah. And then NFL franchises, which historically are the richest in sports in the world. Like, what? Only Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Barcelona are richer than some of the NFL franchises? Like you got like the 49ers, for example. We haven't won anything. We're worth more than some baseball teams that win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a completely different sport. They just make so much money, Derek. And the NFL, I hate to say this, the NFL has marketed itself as being the good old boy club for sports. Its target audience is not black folks. Like, the target audience for NBA is.
I was gonna say that's when it gets into the politics.
Yeah, it's the politics and the marketing of it all, right? And so the NFL Like we can name so many NFL owners, right? But we can't name a lot of NBA owners because NBA owners don't care. They don't care. They don't want to be the star. Jerry wants to be the star, Derek.
Yep. He sure does.
Like he does. He does. If they win the Super Bowl,
oh yeah, it's his winning.
You're gonna hear more from Jerry Jones than any player from the team.
Absolutely. He's gonna say, "Oh, we won." Blah blah blah. They're gonna have it plastered everywhere throughout Dallas. His face is gonna be everywhere. His presence.
Yeah, I remember he fired a two-time Super Bowl winning coach.
That's true.
Because he wouldn't listen to Jerry Jones.
Because he
still fire him because he don't listen to you.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, he's running the show at his arena,
Yo,
so it's ridiculous.
Think about this, guys. Why can't NFL players take off their helmets? They don't want the players to be seen, to be marketable. They just want them to see the front of the jersey and the back of the jersey. You go buy the jersey, but you don't go know the person.
But do you think you said when you mean take off their helmets? Are you saying like on the sidelines they don't want them to take off their helmets?
It's the visibility of it all, John. It's kind of like with NBA basketball players, they're instantly recognizable because they're tall, but you can recognize Steph is 6'3", okay, right?
Tall, but not like outrageously
tall.
Not like 6'10" or 7 feet tall. Right?
He's taller than Steph, but you gonna see Steph because he plays without a helmet, right?
Right.
I guarantee you right now, and I know this is gonna be funny. Matt Ryan could walk past me, and because he's 6'5" and a little cut up, I'm gonna be like, okay, he might play football, but he might just be a dude that likes the gym.
Well, I mean that's true and all, but but do you think the helmets are there for protection purposes too?
No. I'm talking about like I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it like
you talk about the way that they're designed. Is that what you're talking about?
No, he's saying like in game the helmets are necessary.
Right.
But what I'm saying, John, is that like when you score, you be able to take off your helmet.
Okay, yeah, and show that hey, I scored. I put the points, 7 points on the board. Right.
I'm marketable. I have a personality. It's kind of like the Giants neutering Odell Beckham's personality.
Definitely.
They don't want that anywhere near their sport.
They don't want him celebrating all that stuff in the end zone.
It's the no fun league. The NFL. It's the no fun league. Like
that's true.
And they are paying for it because the NBA has cultivated
and how they did Kaepernick too. That's another thing.
Yeah, well, that is like the microcosm of everything that's happened with the NFL the last 10 years. They've become a too stuck up professional league that doesn't know how to handle controversy, and then uses their power because their sport is so powerful and rich to get away with so much stuff. And I just think that's going to wear thin, where the NBA has honestly built a family-friendly league that is exciting as hell to watch and is not about divisiveness, but like about coming together and watching a basketball game, right? You can legit have fun at an NBA basketball game. Like
absolutely.
Have been bad for 3 years. I go to a Hawks game and I enjoy myself.
Right. I've been to. It's been a while, but I have been to some myself too.
I need to go to a Hawks game because I heard the renovated stadium is nuts. Like it's not Phillips Arena anymore, guys. It's State Farm Arena, which is terrible.
Jake from State Farm. Yeah, you need to go.
Such a bad name. State Farm's putting their name on everything. But yeah, that was a good conversation. How did we get there?
So, speaking of segueing into NBA,
yo, for real, like how did we get there?
We was talking about the free agent or the free trade agency. We ended up talking about that
conversation. Oh, right quick, I just want to get y'all score of the games y'all looking at. So, John, what's the score for your Falcons, Redskins? What's the score for the Patriots? Packers, and what's the score for the Rams Saints? Go.
I already had the score for the Patriots thing. It was like I said 38-35.
Okay,
right.
Derek, right, since you talked, okay, 30-35 for Packers. Saints Rams. What's the score?
Go ahead, John.
For Saints Rams, I don't know. I'm just gonna say 30-21. For Falcons and Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see my Falcons win. I was just gonna say, I don't know. I'm just gonna say 21. I don't know, 21-30. I'm gonna go with the same score. We'll see. We'll see. I hope it's a close game. I hope it's a close game.
All right, John. Scores.
All right, I took a quick bathroom break. What's going on?
All right, what do you think the scores for the Eagles play this weekend, right?
Yeah.
All right, so give us a score for the Eagles game, give us a score for Pats Packers, and give us a score for Rams Saints.
Right.
Rams Saints. I'm gonna go. Let's see. I'm gonna go 28-24 Rams.
Okay.
Do we have a game? I don't know if the Eagles have a game. This week 9, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a bye. We play the Cowboys week 10.
Okay.
And then for Packers Patriots, I'm gonna go. Dang, should I go high? I should go high.
I ain't gonna lie. It probably is gonna be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 35.
Mm.
Should I go 35, 32?
32 is a weird number.
That's a weird number. You're right.
But it could happen. Safeties and
I'm gonna go 35-31.
Okay.
That's gonna be the Patriots on top.
Okay. Before we get into more NFL topics, I'm gonna do mine. Packers, Patriots, I got it 42-31 Patriots. For the Saints and Rams, I have Rams 38 and the Saints 37. I think that's going to be the best game of prior to the season. They're going to try to kill each other because I think whoever wins that game
it's really going to determine the NFC.
No, has the first seed, right? Has the number 1 seed, right?
The thing is, the Rams are 0 loss.
Yeah, the Rams have exactly.
For tiebreaker purposes, they can get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, assuming the Rams screw up, which they will. The Rams.
Yeah.
Why am I saying that? That's messed up.
No. They're gonna come back down to earth. Don't get me wrong. They're not gonna go to season undefeated. But it's just for tiebreaker purposes.
I like to see the Rams win, but all right, we'll see what happens.
I don't really care what my 49ers play because we're 2-7. So let's move on.
Can we get into the media brigade trying to hype this Brady, Rodgers, not weird narrative because you have 2 great quarterbacks. Let me just say something real quick, okay, as a Patriots fan. I'm not going to go ahead and try to make it seem like Tom Brady is this bionic, super freak, physical athlete.
He's football.
He's a football Jesus.
Has thrown the football technically, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally better than anyone else has. That he has a weird connection to football, like the Force, and it's just he's a dude, right? And he's a gifted football player because you'd have to be so to be, where he is today. But I'm not gonna try to argue that Tom Brady is this athlete and Rodgers is. I won't try to argue that Tom Brady can throw the football as well as Aaron Rodgers can. I'm not gonna say that Tom Brady on a play-to-play basis makes better decisions than Aaron Rodgers does because Aaron Rodgers has the highest passer rating in NFL history. Tom Brady, I think, is 3rd on that list or 4th. He's not far behind, but there's a number 1 there, and his name is Aaron Rodgers. Do I think Aaron Rodgers is a technically better and physically more gifted quarterback than Tom Brady? As a Patriots fan, I would have to say so. But who I want as my quarterback is the guy who, in the big moments, finds a way to get his team to wins or in winning positions. And I like that we have a guy that, for all intents and purposes, is one of the best leaders we've seen in sports. So I'm not like I've seen this narrative be replayed all throughout the week on FS1, all throughout the week on ESPN, First Take. You name it, each show, just has narrative running. and I want to get you guys' opinion because I'm going to go out here and flat out say it. I would always rather have Tom Brady, especially with Bill Belichick, than Aaron Rodgers, simply because I see the character Tom Brady has and I know how clutch Tom Brady is. Now, I can't tell you that if you put Aaron Rodgers in the same situation that he wouldn't do as well or better than Tom Brady, but I'm not trading history. I will concede one quarterback technically can do everything you want a quarterback to do, physically and technically. But the other quarterback, even though he does most of the things that you want a quarterback to do, and he can't do maybe one or two things, he finds a way to get things done that most quarterbacks, that any other quarterback really hasn't been able to get done on as a consistent basis as that. So I just want to hit on that really quick because we don't really get to talk Brady Rodgers in a head-to-head matchup, but that's really what the NFL is selling. That's what I want to get you guys' 2 cents
on. Jerron, what y'all think?
I was gonna say I was thinking about the media earlier today, but yeah, they do tend to hype up Brady, and I get where you're coming from, Derek, and I'm able to wrap my mind around what you're saying too. I mean, they're both great, like legendary, players in the NFL for sure, no doubt about it. They're amazing, well talented quarterbacks, and future Hall of Famers for sure. Definitely. They definitely have that down that's like written in stone for sure. I do think Tom Brady is very consistent. And he's a great quarterback. He's an excellent quarterback. And I think both are actually great, to be honest with you. But it's kind of hard for me to say which one is better either or because a healthy Aaron Rodgers can go downfield and throw the ball downfield and get out of the pocket and even run to make that first down conversion if he has to use his legs. But I will say they're both well talented, great players, and I think Sunday's matchup is going to be very interesting to watch for sure. Tom Brady, been able to win all those championships and do well in the NFL for a while, which a lot of quarterbacks haven't been able to do what he's done. That's what makes him so elite. And same thing with Rodgers. He somebody who nobody expected to do well when he first stepped on the field, and now he's amazing and he's accomplished a lot. So I think they're both great. Like I would say they're definitely like the top 5 for sure. I would have Brady at number 1, and I put Rodgers at right behind him, along with Breeze. So those two are definitely going to be in that top echelon for quarterback. So that's my 2 cents.
I don't know why people want to it gotta be Brady or Rodgers, like both great quarterbacks. As we all know, Tom Brady makes the right decisions at the right times 99% of the time. So when it comes to, like Derek said, that big moment where you need the right play, Brady's going to give it to you 99% of the time, maybe like 99.5% of the time. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. He can literally do whatever you need him to do. He can run the ball, pass the ball, play in tight spots, and he's going to make the right decision 95% of the time. So if I had to pick one, that's kind of hard. Tom Brady. See, the problem is that it would be an easier debate if the Packers had a good. Exactly.
Right,
That's the word.
right.
A competent head coach, but they don't. So
because the Belichick playbook, man. That's all I gotta say.
McCarthy, he's not running that shit right, and they won't build a defense for my boy Rodgers. So in terms of accolades, of course you're gonna pick Tom Brady, but it's like Rodgers. I can't put 100% of blame on him because the only time he had a good defense is when he won the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Or when he had those 2 runs, yeah.
We'll say, but then they refused to give him a good defense. They refused to bolster the offensive line.
They refused to be a running back.
Right,
Huh?
right.
Yeah,
Get a good running back.
They
Yeah.
had a wide receiver at running back for 3 years. Like,
Well,
Jeez.
I take that back. They tried to draft Eddie Lacy. He's
Eddie
just,
Lacy, but he wasn't that great. Yeah.
yeah, they tried it, but I mean, you can still try again instead of putting Montgomery at running back for 3 years. But
That is true. I mean, that is true. They
but
could have
yeah,
drafted somebody.
it's going to be a great matchup because these are two of the top quarterbacks. Like John said, you would put Brady, and then right after Brady, you would put Rodgers. But like I said, Tom Brady, like I know people are hyped because Rodgers can make any throw on the field, but don't discredit Tom Brady either. He has an arm. He makes the right decision. He fits in the tight spots too. So if I had to pick, I'll pick a Tom Brady just because I see them do it 5 times. But Rodgers not a bad pick either.
I'm withdrawing. It's all hate discussions like this. I think it's really hard to compare quarterbacks in completely different situations. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick cannot be separated from each other. Unfortunately. Well, it's not an unfortunate thing for Patriots fans because that has led to 5 Super Bowls, but
Right. It's true.
You can't separate them because to me, they are like a symbiotic relationship. Unfortunately, that's unraveling right now, but like for their whole 17 years together, I mean, I don't know if you could find a more perfect union as a coach and quarterback. So it's hard because it's kind of like I would never ever be the person to tell you that Tom Brady is just a system quarterback. I hated that narrative on him early in his career, and I'm glad he's won MVPs and put up the numbers to show people, nah, man, I am football Jesus. So, you know, bow down to my powers, okay? I can turn Gatorade into wine. Like,
stop being stupid.
I'm football Jesus.
Got the holy pigskin.
Football, I can multiply it into 500 footballs. Like, he's that guy. All right. So I think Aaron Rodgers is the most physically gifted person. Like he can run faster. He's probably a better athlete, right? But playing quarterback, right? As somebody said, like, it's interesting. Like, I know it's about to be like a really weird comparison, but there's Navy SEALs who say that Navy SEALs are professional athletes mixed with Harvard law.
Yep.
The most badass soldier you can probably think of. That is what a Navy SEAL is combined. A quarterback
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near water. Let's just say that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like a quarterback is a Harvard graduate mixed with a supercomputer for a brain mixed with the God-given talent of a quarterback, right? Of what God gives you as a quarterback, your innate talent, your physical measurables, what you can do. Tom Brady's like the quintessential marriage of all three. He has all three. It's just his physicality stands out a lot more because he can just do things. Like he can, if you would have put both of them together, I wouldn't want to play that team. I'll forfeit because you couldn't stop that. No, you just couldn't. You could not stop that.
That's true.
It's like trying to you can't blitz because he'll run away from you. But if you sit back in the zone, they're going to pick you apart. One can do that. One can just sit back there and just knows when the pressure is coming, know how to change the protection, know when to change the route, know when to freestyle, doesn't make mistakes, is ultra mega clutch. Ultra mega clutch. I would like somebody to put a heart monitor on Tom Brady in the fourth quarter because he has to be just calm. It's kind of like my favorite quarterback of all time is Joe Montana, Joe Cool, because he's led 2 Super Bowl winning drives himself for the 49ers. And I never will forget there was is it the Missing Rings or something like that for NFL Network. It's the America's Game. So like they celebrate the Super Bowl champions, right? and it was the Super Bowl that they played against. I think it's Super Bowl 29 against the Cincinnati Bengals, right? And the Cincinnati Bengals were up, I think 17-16 or something like that. And we had, I think, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. And the 49ers have the ball. And Joe Montana and his team are in the huddle. And the first words out of Joe Montana's mouth is, "Hey, guys, look over there." They all look. Is that John Candy, the actor? And everybody in the huddle could not believe that in the biggest drive of their lives, he was talking about an actor because he just knew they were going to find a way to win. He was that confident. That is Tom Brady. Like, when you're that good, when you're that confident, there's nothing you can say. So, in my opinion, I'm going to take Tom Brady. But I don't blame people for taking Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the dude is an athletic marvel as a quarterback. You know, I think him and Cam Newton got to be the most frustrating people to game plan for in the NFL. Like, it's just, yeah, man.
Cam Newton, something.
Man, there's going to be a time where we're going to have freaking Blake Bortles in the league. Enjoy both. All right? Enjoy both of them. No,
Definitely.
There might be a time where we might not have guys this talented anymore. Enjoy both of them. Enjoy the duel that will happen on Sunday. That's all I gotta really say. I Derek, like, it's a good question because ESPN and Fox just really try to fill up time slots with these stupid arguments. And
can they please talk about different stuff?
I know, right?
I'm tired of turn on.
Yeah,
what's the Fox show Undisputed? And it's like, oh, we're going to talk about LeBron today. Like, didn't you talk about?
Yeah, they talk every day. Every
Please
day.
stop talking about. Talk about Blake Griffin.
LeBron and Jordan. LeBron and Jordan. They talk about LeBron and Jordan too.
Okay. I got one more topic for y'all for the NFL.
Can we just talk about bad? Can we just get the bad out the way?
Jameis.
Yeah. First, let me go.
I don't want to talk about John Gruden. I don't want to talk. We did that already. I don't want to talk about mediocrity. No.
Okay. Hey, he making $100 million, Jake. $100 million.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about him.
This all getting the bag.
No, seriously. This is all I'm gonna leave it to. Who
the finesse
to a TV interview and pulls a 45 and is like, you know what? You have a cell phone. I have a cell phone. There's a lot of players hitting me up that want to come play with the Raiders. What?
That was so stupid, bro.
Oh my gosh! And they fell for it.
Play for you? No.
Yeah, the worst team.
Fight with a dude you have never seen in your life and traded him away.
And I think the whole Marshawn Lynch, everybody's like, "Oh, Marshawn Lynch coming back,"
Come on, bro. Marshawn Lynch coming back because he's from Oakland, bro. He loved the city, bro. Like,
right.
He's from there. His family from there. He would love to be a Raider. That's the only reason why. Marshawn Lynch is not subjecting himself to the physicality of football for John fucking Gruden. Yeah.
I want to say this. I just want to get this out the way. What do y'all think about the media asking dumb questions to athletes? I've been seeing those videos.
Okay, yeah. So
you mean like football players?
It's just athletes in general. It's just a thing. Stupid questions.
No, it's gotten worse. Okay, so I think in the beginning, like media people, when they're asking these questions, they would generally have brain farts, or they'd be socially awkward people. Like we all know that kid, right? We're not going to say his name, but
yep. Sorry.
Yeah, let's say someone, unfortunately, your lady breaks up with you. Y'all going through a rough patch,
right?
Let's in that kid we were talking about, the socially awkward kid. Mm-hmm. He would just ask the worst, most obvious question that you wouldn't want. Like your girl break up. In it's kind of bad, and he'd be like, "Do you still miss her?" You know what I mean?
Oh my god, no!
But like that in that person's head at that time, they didn't even think if they should ask that question. It was just like, "Oh well, I you know what I mean?" It's like that's the media in the beginning. when sports and media was really starting to mesh. Now it's trolling. Now everyone wants to get the Russell Westbrook, y'all niggas tripping. Or everyone wants to get that soundbite. They want to be the reporter that gets that soundbite because that will get trending. Now it'll get viral. You know what I mean? And then you can demonize the player. You can spin the story because it's not boring to get Russell Westbrook to talk about how the team isn't performing well, how he isn't shooting well. You know what I mean? If you just ask him very easy and straightforward questions, but if you start talking spicy to him, if you start just asking him very stupid questions, you know the answers. Why take that shot, Russ? He's trying to win the game. Why? What?
It's bad because especially for him, they've been targeting him especially. Like, golly, like stop asking these stupid questions.
No, it's
stop asking questions that get players in trouble.
Like exactly.
Would you like to be traded? I guess, sure.
It's clear trolling. It's trolling.
Okay, but guys, these are grown men. Like JR,
that's the issue I have.
JR didn't have to answer that question, bro. Like you don't have to answer the question. Like
he didn't have to answer the question, but I don't think he was thinking at the time. The problem is
reacting. He
was just answering your question. He was just like, "Would I be traded?" Yes. Like,
I think there's a good time and a bad time to ask those certain questions. Like, you just got to read the room and read the athlete and how they feel. Like, I think a time to get playful for us is if like the Thunder on like a 10-game win streak, everything's going fine, and then like after a hard fought win, you can ask him some personal silly question, and maybe he'll be okay for that. But don't ask him in the middle of war on the basketball court. And what's your favorite color? No.
They really do. They'd be like, do you think your team is playing defense very well? Or they say like,
throw his team under the bus. Like, yo, they really just want to start fights in the locker room. They want another Gilbert Arenas, Javaris Crittenton situation in the locker room. That's what they want.
I mean,
it's terrible.
I mean, like, if I'm like a superstar with cachet, I'm like John Wall, and I see some beat reporter asking them dumb questions. I'm doing everything I can to make sure you're not showing up. Like, you're not coming to the next game at least.
No, Derek, I won't ruin people's paycheck for a dumb question. I just won't call on you.
True.
Question. I just won't answer it. I'm not that like if I was an athlete, I'm not that petty, but like I just won't answer your question.
Like I can't imagine what LeBron James got to go through with some of these questions.
I mean, LeBron is very patient. He plays the game, you know.
And LeBron has a lot to answer for. I mean, not him in particular, but the Lakers. We'll get in that a little bit later. Let's just get into this Jameis Winston thing.
Do we have to talk about? Like,
I'm curious to hear.
Ever since he did that, we're eating W's. He licked his fingers. I was like, done. I don't want to talk about it. I mean, yeah, bro. When you stealing crab legs, I don't want to talk about you, dog.
You right though. You right. He didn't have to steal that.
This feeds into, to me, like the reason why I want to talk about Jameis is how much rope you gave someone who wasn't even that good. How much you were willing to excuse. Because if Jameis Winston would look like Deshaun Watson, we wouldn't even care how horrible a person he not we, but especially in the NFL, he'd be able to go.
Hell no, bro. Ray Rice about to get signed and knocked his wife out on, knocked her out and dragged her body across the line unconscious, bro. Like, this is a thing. The difference with James is it's the hypocrisy of the NBA, the NFL.
The NFL, that's a good point. That's a good point,
man. It's like if Jameis didn't get suspended and Jameis was putting up like he had like 2,500 yards passed and had like a 67% completion percentage, right? And would have like 18 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and the Tampa Bay Bucks were like above 500 or 500 club. Nah, man. No. We wouldn't be we wouldn't care.
It'd be like Ben Roethlisberger.
They wouldn't care. But this is the thing I'll say about Jameis. I'm gonna get my stuff out the way.
Okay.
My thing with Jameis is Jameis gotta be the dumbest athlete in America.
No, that goes to your old defensive end, your old outside linebacker. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Well, no, Derek, he gone. But like right now, dudes who are active, he plays a position in which people don't want him to play that position because the color of his skin. Okay, that's one. 2, he beat a rape case in college.
Right. That's right.
All right. Regardless of what you think, he went through the processes of the law and was found not guilty. Okay.
And then he steals crab legs.
Right? You already got one strike against you just for being who you are and existing. Two is you put yourself in a bad situation, right? The thing where I'm off of him is not the stupid stuff. I mean, stealing crab legs and all that stuff, and the whole W thing and all that, and the really, really bad quotables.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. That's all being that. Aside from stealing, that's like a kind of entitlement thing to me. You know what I mean? That kind of speaks to who he is as a person overall. But the other stuff, like the eating W's and the terrible, he's just a weird guy. But you know that people with that
eating W's.
I mean, you gonna lick your freaking? Oh no, bro. No, bro.
Jake, I think you would have flipped the table.
Yeah, bro. You gotta go put some hand sanitizer on before you throw me that football. W's, and they proceeded to get the crud kicked out of them that game.
I know. That's so funny about it.
But honestly, the thing that makes me just off of him, bro, is just the blatant immaturity to get yourself in another situation that almost cost you your career in the first place. Like, to me, Derek, that not only shows me that you're immature, but there's something wrong with you. Like, you have a problem with putting yourself in position around women that are very compromising.
Oh yeah, it's an entire.
That's why you gotta be careful. That's all I gotta say. He
has a really bad problem, and then he lied about it, and they covered it up. I think Jameis really don't deserve our attention, but it's kind of sad to see, man. The man was the number one pick in the draft.
The draft, yep.
All this expectations for that franchise up, and he has not lived up to it. But you know, I don't feel bad for him, man. It sucks, but I don't feel bad for him at all.
Because he should have learned those lessons from those times at Florida State, though. I will say that
he's not ready to lead an NFL franchise.
No, he's not.
Franchise is he's not ready.
You're right. He hasn't grown up, or he hasn't acted mature. I agree. I think, but I also think that, like, I don't know, like this whole with the rape cases and all that stuff. As an athlete, you got to be careful when you're dealing with the women out there. I don't know, have an NDA before you do something or some kind of stuff. You really got to be careful nowadays.
But that Uber situation,
NDA, but John's right, man. You got to watch when you are an athlete like that. You got to watch who you are around, who occupies your time. Like, it's just simple as that. Like, there's been plenty of athletes that had to cut off their friends, bro, because they're just not good for them. They're
right.
In trouble, right? Or they have to put themselves around people who will keep them out of trouble. And especially with women, I mean, dog. No, bruh, this is all I'm gonna say. I know it's a sports podcast, but bruh, men have to do better with knowing what consent is. That's all I gotta say. You won't put yourself in that situation if you know what that is, and clearly he doesn't, because he's put himself in two situations like that. So, other than that, Derek, I just want to hear what you got to say, because I'm guessing Jerron is just like, nah, I'm not trying.
I feel.
No, the only thing I say about Jameis is that he's not good. So. Go and get a new quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what happened. You have a average quarterback at best, and what's his name? Conor Reagan dude.
Doing better than him.
What's his name? What's his name?
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick as average quarterback at best, and you saw what he did. You know, he did fall back down to earth, but
right.
He still had 3 good games. You bring in Jameis back, and that team is just trash now. They went from being talked about. They went on one of the hottest teams being talked about to ain't nobody care about them no more.
Yeah, because they beat the Saints, right? They beat the Saints earlier on in the season, right? I'm not mistaken.
The Falcons.
Because something crazy like that.
They beat a good team, but
they did, and now Tampa Bay's been struggling to try to climb up out of this hole as the 4th seed for a while in the NFC South. So,
well, they were the 4th. They were the 3rd seed, and the Falcons started.
And now they're the 4th seed. But they've always had that problem trying to climb up out of that hole, you know. So
Jameis is the problem. Get him out.
So exactly.
Just go and draft your new quarterback, Tampa. Just go and draft your new quarterback.
To wrap this whole thing up, I'm gonna summarize exactly what's so depressing about this whole situation. There's so many parallels that you could draw between Jameis Winston and other quarterbacks. I'm gonna talk about Cam Newton real quick. Cam Newton's never had issues with. Well, I shouldn't say he's never had issues. He has said some things that have been, you could easily say, all right, that's very old fashioned or very conservative thinking. You know, when he was talking about, I forget what he said.
The woman in sports.
Oh, yeah, it was sexist as hell, bro. It was sexist as hell. He didn't mean it that way, but it was sexist as hell.
Yeah. And then he got back at Florida. He literally had to leave. You know what I mean? Like Cam Newton. Let's not act like Cam Newton is some angel or was not. I shouldn't say
definitely.
I'm trying to draw these parallels. So like Cam Newton came out of college with questions about him. He leads Auburn to a national championship, and he asks all these questions about his ability to read NFL defenses and throw the ball and to just be like, a franchise quarterback. And he ends up getting drafted number 1 overall, despite what some people think, because Jameis was given Andrew Luck level or quarterback evaluations, whereas Cam Newton, people were wondering, can he even read an NFL?
People said Blaine Gabbert was better than him coming out of college. Blaine Gabbert.
Dude, audience, if you don't know, Blaine Gabbert has been, back when he played for the Jaguars, or multiple times, Blaine Gabbert, you could take a snapshot of Blaine Gabbert, and he was throwing the football with his eyes closed.
No, for real.
Yeah, I believe that.
We're not kidding. The pass rush ain't even there, bro. He thinks he's getting hit, and he'll throw it with his eyes closed. And I'm
they said that guy.
Wait, so what pick was Blaine Gabbert then?
Blaine was second.
Oh wow.
No, Blaine was the 3rd pick, right there. Third or second pick.
I mean, I'm gonna look this up.
I know Cam was number 1, and
right.
The thing with Cam is is a transcendent pick because Cam is one of those few spread offense quarterbacks, quote unquote, to transition very well into the NFL. Like, and people forget he broke Peyton Manning's rookie records, like completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, all of it. He broke all of them, and people are like, "Yo."
Blaine Gabbert was the 10th pick in the draft.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go. Top 10 pick as a quarterback. He closing his eyes, throwing oblong-shaped ball, which is his living. Yeah, nah.
Usually to the other team, but not to hurt too much. Point being, Cam Newton, instead of getting himself into crazy situations, instead of just genuinely like having the same issues of immaturity or that people would question for, he turned himself into a league MVP, right? And you look at Jameis Winston, and I think a lot of people looked at Cam and they saw the success Cam has. Cam's been to a Super Bowl. I think he's been all pro before. I may be wrong, but I think he's been all pro before. Cam literally one of the faces of the NFL. I mean, you look at Jameis, and you say to yourself, well, he got through that case at Florida State. He's won a national championship. He's won a Heisman. He's a winner, great intangibles. And you say, you know what? And this is my thing too. This is why I want to talk about this. When it hurts to see an African American quarterback fail when you give him a chance, but it hurts even worse when you continue to give him chances. Because there are guys in this league. I'm not saying that there are an abundance of African American quarterbacks that are out there who don't have jobs. Colin Kaepernick is one of them for sure, who should have a job in the NFL, probably starting still. But that's a whole different debate. But it's crazy when you see a guy who's been so privileged when he when you look at his demographic group of people who have been traditionally underprivileged, when you take those privileges and you continue to throw them away, you got to look at it and you got to ask yourself, man, what was Jameis Winston drafted to do? Jameis Winston plays in the division as, let me tell you, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, and Cam Newton. I think has Drew Brees won an MVP yet? He's definitely a pretty.
Yeah, I think he has.
No,
I think he has.
He has not won. He won Super Bowl MVP. He has not won the MVP award.
Oh, okay.
But my point is, you play in a division
with arguably three Hall of Fame quarterbacks. If we just going to keep it straight, three arguably Hall of Fame quarterbacks. One is one of the greatest to ever play. The other two, well, Cam is further along in his Hall of Fame career than Matt Ryan, but both of them have MVPs and both of them have the numbers and the wins.
And both of them have been
in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. That's the best. This is the best division for quarterbacks. Honestly, if we just be honest, like these guys don't lose games. They just don't, unless they just have a bad game. These guys are the reason their teams win. So go ahead, Eric.
So then you go and you look at Jameis Winston. He's drafted number 1 overall. Tell the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just compete with those guys, and then you give Jameis everything you could ever give to a young quarterback in terms of weapons. You give him Mike Evans, you give him Deshaun Jackson, you give him O.J. Howard, right? They previously, like in Jameis's younger years, they actually had a decent defense. I know it's abysmal right now, but they've had Gerald McCoy. Does he still? I think he still plays for the.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
McCoy, who in the past was one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League. They still have Levante David. They had this cornerback from the Falcons. Forget his name.
Oh, gosh.
Brent Grimes.
Brent Grimes. They had decent defenses before. Before they had Deshaun Jackson, they had the dude from the Chargers who retired.
Oh, Vincent Jackson.
Vincent Jackson, yes. So it's not like Jameis, ever went through a period where he didn't have any weapons, where we basically was stranded out there with nothing, like an Andrew Luck. You know what I mean? Jameis has always been given what he was needed to succeed. And not only that, he was giving chances to succeed that a lot of quarterbacks, we look at some guys like Deshaun Kaiser. Deshaun Kaiser literally played on probably one of the worst, if the worst franchise in the league last year, right? Had to take the season of not winning more than one game, and now he's not. I don't even know if he's on the Browns roster.
No, he's on the Packers.
Okay.
He's a backup for the Packers, Derek.
Okay, but my point is, imagine if Deshaun Kaiser was given any of the opportunity, any of the years, just not even just like the weapons, just you have 4 years, Deshaun, to prove us something. You know how many quarterbacks drafted in the first round would kill for 2, 3 years of consistency, even just of being able to start
for 2, 3 years? Yeah, a bunch of them will kill. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of them don't even get one.
Yeah,
and this guy not only gets one, he's in his 4th year, and the only reason why he didn't get to start his 4th year off is because of the Uber incident, where again he clearly lacks any sense of boundary. Like there are certain guys out there who think, whether it be because I guess girls have given him play because they knew he was going to be something, or if he just has this ego thing where I guess he wasn't popular with women, and now that he's good at football, that it's just this thing where he just thinks, I'm entitled to this. Yeah, and that's why that Publix thing with the whole fish legs is really sad, because you could see you are about to be the first pick or a first round pick in the NFL, Jameis Winston. Why are you going into a Publix and stealing crab legs? You're a Florida State legend.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You couldn't have somebody buy the crab legs for you.
You know what I mean?
They don't cost that much.
Like both John and Derek have brought up a great point, and I didn't even think about this when it happened. This is he's Jameis Winston. He couldn't go to somebody and say, yo, I'll autograph this for you, right? If you can buy me some crab legs.
I mean,
and they're not even that expensive. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I see him at Publix. I mean, I would think he could find a way to get them because college athletes are like gods on campuses, especially at a big school like that.
Starting quarterback at a D1 school that is competitive.
Yo,
right?
No.
You couldn't tell your friends like, hey man, I want to get some crab legs. I'll pay you back.
Exactly.
Not about
guys. No, you got to put this in perspective with James Winston. James Winston is a 2-star. He's a 2-sport, 5-star athlete in both. Got drafted in both. By the time he stepped foot on Florida State's campus, he won the Heisman Trophy and national championship his freshman year.
That's right.
Freshman to win the Heisman Trophy. He is not.
How? Like I said, he's a god on campus. I mean, what can I say? He got all these acclimates.
and also
at university.
Yeah, I mean, if that happened at UGA, same thing. They treat him the same way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right.
As a kicker, not only did Jameis get all his opportunities, all these chances to prove that he could be what the organization – because if Jameis Winston was an average quarterback, we see what an average quarterback can do with these weapons in Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is just ball out, right? If he was an elite quarterback, he'd be able to do some of what Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing with half the weapons. We just ask you to do if Jameis wasn't turning the ball over as much, even if he was just like through 8 games, if he was like a 10 touchdown, 3 pick type of guy, the organization would probably be baited into believing he was something like the Jaguars were with Blake Bortles last year. You know what I mean? Just don't be terrible. And he can't even be that. And the kicker to all this is he played in his home state.
I know. That's what baffles me.
I don't know if he was a Florida athlete. I'd have to.
No, Derek. He's from Bessemer, Alabama.
Okay, well, that kind of throws a wrench to my whole argument. But he at least went to school.
But he went to school there. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like he went to college there, and it's like that's kind of like your home turf, and you're very familiar with Florida itself. So I get where you're coming from.
You have at least some type of infrastructure to help you there. That's
right.
Not even that. But my point is, he has all of that going for him. Can you imagine? Imagine if you're like a rookie having a really hard time, and you can just drive an hour and go talk to your coach.
I mean, that would be nice.
Maybe that might not mean much, but I'm sure a lot of guys would appreciate that rather than having to go cross country and hope they can catch their coach in the Skype session when that coach is trying to game plan.
Right.
These coaches aren't like, high school guys where, they're teachers part-time. No, these coaches every week are trying to game plan to make sure they can keep their jobs.
Exactly. And he could have gone to his coach for advice, like, hey, man, what can I do to improve? I get where you're coming from on that because he's right there. He's right there in Florida. Like, he went to school there and his professional team is there. So why not get help from the coach and be like, how can I improve? I get where you're coming from.
All of this prior to Jimbo Fisher leaving, of course. I know Jimbo Fisher ended up leaving Florida State. I don't know where he coaches now. I'm sure Jake knows. But so my point in all this is saying all this is it hurts to see a minority quarterback who has been given so much underperform.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know how much other quarterbacks of any demographic would kill to have half the opportunities that this man has had. It's kind of like imagine how sick Bills fans are when they see Nathan Peterson out game after game after Nathan Peterson has continued to be terrible just for one season. This has been Jameis Winston with the turnover problem, but also with character problems for 4 years going on.
Yeah, you could emphasize the character problems too on the field also. Like I saw how he acted in the Saints game, how he was antagonizing that sideline. I mean, that too, that needs to go. Nobody wants to deal with that.
All I'm trying to say is, Jameis, you're messing it up. You're messing at this point. Like, I know this is, I'm not trying to go all hotep, you're messing it up for the guys that are coming after you. Because we already know, because of his skin color, like Jake said, people don't want you playing quarterback. People want you out there getting that CTE, head to head, you know what I mean? Running into receiver.
Right.
They want to be a receiver, running back. They want to save those jobs where those guys are heavily protected, not for black men. So the fact that you get that, we know you at least have the prerequisite talent, or else those tests, those evaluation tests are just bunk. We know you at least have the potential to be a NFL starting quarterback, and you can't even be that. It's disgusting to me. It's just.
I feel you, bro.
I'm
He's ungrateful and entitled. He's ungrateful and entitled. It's simply immature, ungrateful, and entitled.
Absolutely. And it's sad to be a Tampa Bay fan. Like, for somebody who's a Tampa Bay fan, like I'm not, but I'm just saying, for somebody who's out there that is a fan of Tampa Bay, like I feel for them because they've been trying to get out of this mediocrity hole for years and years. And they've always been at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the NFC. Like the Falcons, and the Panthers were like the two dominant teams in the NFC South, and now the Saints are back up at the top, and it changes between those three teams. But Tampa Bay is always like, when the Falcons, when I see the Falcons playing them, I'm like, oh, that's a guaranteed W, like no doubt about it.
Tampa Bay has been good since Warwick done.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you just want to keep it 100, John Gruden, Mr. $100 million, won that Super Bowl.
That one Super Bowl.
Tony Dungy's players. And that defense is one of the greatest defenses ever created in football history. So good for him. He still sucks. That franchise sucks. They wanted Jameis to be the guy to bring them out of it. And he just and not only is he not that guy, he's embarrassing them along the way.
Yeah. He is. And that's sad to see, like a franchise that has a Super Bowl win. Like the Falcons don't have any Super Bowl titles, and like Carolina doesn't either, but they play great. They play great. They can do well in the regular season and sometimes even the postseason. And for somebody like Winston, you're looked upon like, oh, he's gonna change the franchise and he's gonna revolutionize our franchise and get us to a playoff. To now, it's just Tampa Bay is another mediocre team at the bottom of the barrel in the NFC South. It's sad, and it's ridiculous because they really should be competing alongside the Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers. Like they really should. It should be all four teams competing for that top spot. So,
and I'm not just to close. I'm not going to put this all on Jameis Winston because the organization.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is terrible. Yeah, it is.
Probably would have moved on from Jameis way before now. It's cowardly because we know the coach and the GM are desperately trying to make sure, or were trying to make sure Jameis was that guy, and now they're trying to get as close to 500 as possible. That's what I'm thinking they're doing, so that maybe they can argue, we built this team, give us one more year, we'll get a quarterback. We'll get our defense. This is a good team. Like that's what I think they're doing right now. They don't want to pay Jameis, but I understand because now that I think about it, like I didn't even really want to talk about Jameis because thinking about it and thinking about all he's gotten, really did it. I am kind of fired up right now because it's like.
Yeah, he sets a bad example for black players, future black football players or at least quarterbacks.
Facts. He's a bad role, bro. You see, just and I don't think, like Derek, I do agree with what you were getting ready to say, is that Tampa Bay's not going to pay him that extension, whatever that contract after your first 4 years or whatever that big job. He's played him out of it, and his behavior has got him out of it. So I don't know. I think he will be a free agent. I do think because the NFL's the NFL, they will resign him, but I don't think he's ever going to live up to that first round draft pick. I don't think so, and I hope his behavior gets better. But from what I've seen, nope.
He ought to take a year off and chill out somewhere for a minute. But hey, who am I to say that ain't gonna happen?
You might be taking that Des Bryant, Jerry's Bird vacation where you ain't coming back.
Fact. That could happen, and people are really people are like, no, that can happen. He's too talented of a quarterback. I'm like, if he keeps being a distraction off the field, yes, that will happen, especially for a black quarterback.
Yeah, because no NFL franchise wants controversy, especially that type. With those series charges that happen to him, nobody wants that because you're representing the brand at the end of the day. And then on top of that, I don't know if he has any endorsements, but those people that endorse you, they don't want you representing them either. So you're hurting your own bag, when you do stupid things like that.
Oh yeah, he's cost himself $hundreds of millions. Like even if Jameis Winston goes ahead, he signs for a team next year, and he's their backup. Their starter gets injured, and he goes and he gives them a winning season. He, from now until the end of his career, will always have this looming over his head, where a team will always be able to go to the arbitration table and say, your character issues from your past limit our faith that you will be able to be the face of our franchise, not only through your play, but just randomly getting suspended. You could easily just randomly get into another situation with another female and find yourself in legal trouble, find yourself not being able to play, and once you get through with those legal troubles, the league will come back and then suspend you.
Yep.
He's cost himself. Because right now, it's hard for me to even think that Jameis Winston will get an NFL job. With how gun shy teams are to surround themselves with controversy, the worst thing you could do would be to bring a potential not sex offender, but
rape.
I don't want to call it rape. Somebody with domestic abuse. With that tag. The NFL is just starting to come off that hotness, that heat. They don't want the block hot there. So no team wants that. Right now, the NFL is trying to get off the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. They tried to sign that safety out in Carolina, and it's still a hot topic. But the NFL, more than anything, wants to avoid the domestic abuse thing and the rape culture thing. So it's really hard for me to see Jameis getting back on. But if he ever does, he would have to have like a Drew Brees type of turnaround to his career.
Yeah, facts.
But I don't see that happening because he's not concerned. If he was as concerned with football as he was with ruining his bag, which he's done at an elite level. The only thing Jameis Winston is elite at is making Jameis Winston poorer.
I mean, that is true.
If he was as dedicated to football as he was to making sure Jameis Winston in 10 years will not even 10 years next year will not be able to be a starting quarterback, he would be Patrick Mahomes. But I'm done with the NFL. If y'all have anything else y'all want to say against this NBA, because this is where the real spice. Like we spent a little bit too much time in the NFL, but we're gonna get into the real.
Buddy. Whoo! I'm about to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say I said what I had to say about the man. It's a disappointment. He really, if he didn't fuck up, he could have done a whole lot better. I think he could have just done way better. If he had just worked hard and stay out of trouble, he probably would have been in a different mindset and probably would have made Tampa Bay at least a little bit better. And that's all I gotta say for that piece. But
are we done with this topic? Because I really
and they could be bad for all I care because my Falcons had the top chance. Go ahead. Y'all can go ahead.
Bro, I'm tired of talking about bums. Can we get to the end? All right.
I'm sorry. You had 4 years. You ain't done nothing and move on. I understand what Derek's saying. Yeah, it's a bad look, especially since he's a black quarterback. But sometimes you just gotta let him go.
Yep.
Move on. Draft you a new one, and try to rebuild again.
Yep. All right.
Especially since Jameis' problems are his own fault. Not like
it's not like somebody
he's in an unfortunate situation. He put himself there, so I can only care so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the NBA.
Oh boy.
Let's start off with the Lakers. Let's start off.
Yeah, let's start with the Lakers. Yeah, I feel that.
Jake, what do you gotta say?
One of you, because no, man, I'm not. No.
Lonzo Ball.
No, he ain't the issue. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Fuck LeBron James, fuck Magic Johnson, and fuck the Lakers.
Oh shit! This coming out with the heat.
Yeah, like pretty much. Like from what I've heard today.
Yeah, you heard about Luke Walton. Yeah, I was about to say, Luke Walton. Are they going to consider firing him?
No, I don't fuck.
I know it blows your mind. It blows my mind. I'm telling you, LeBron James. I hope he doesn't do what he did in Cleveland and try to remove the head coach and put one that's to his liking in there. I don't know.
Okay, so
because Tyronn Lue out of a job too.
Okay, I'm really trying to collect myself before I.
You want me to talk about it a little bit?
Nope, fuck it, because now I'm here. I'm thinking I'm here now. We are 3-5.
That should not be the case.
8 games. No, John, it's not that. It's 8 games into a 82 game season. We have 74 games to go. We have 74 games to go. We have replaced 8 people on our roster from a
Jesus
Christ. 35 games. Okay, we didn't make the playoffs. We haven't made the playoffs in 5 years.
Right.
We are a mud franchise. We're not the Lakers of the 80s, Laker fans. We are not the Lakers of the early 2000s. We're not the Lakers of the late 2000s. We are a mud franchise. We are trying to pull ourselves out of being mediocre. Okay. Calm the fuck down.
Oh man.
For the love of everything holy, what did y'all expect this season?
Bro, they were expecting that capital W. That capital W.
I know the Kool-Aid is super sugary. It's great flavor. It's flavor. Don't drink it.
All they saw was LJ or LeBron James, and they were like, "Oh, finals. We're going to the finals." Road to the finals.
Like the amount of commentary I have seen on Twitter about our deficiencies 8 games into the season, you would think we've played 45 games.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Everybody is saying you guys are a tank or your franchise isn't going to go anywhere, and it's like you just started the season.
It comes to sports in the first place because if you put them on the basketball court, they can't play. So that's one thing. I don't really listen to
the commentators.
I tolerate people's football opinions. I really don't listen to people's basketball opinions because most of y'all think it 2K. So I'm not really trying to hear anything y'all say. So we have the dumbest fan base in basketball. I just need people to understand it. We have the dumbest, spoiled, ungrateful, entitled fan base in the world, and they thought getting a transcendent basketball player was going to automatically make us the toast of the NBA, and we were going to run through everybody, and we were going to be 8-0 at this point, and everybody was going to be singing our praises, and it's not happening, and they're getting impatient.
I think they need to take a chapter out of Miami. Things take time.
Well, John, the difference is Lakers fans have these expectations. They've always had these expectations since the 60s. Ever since the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, we expect to win championships. We have 16 championships.
That's true.
Most to Boston. We are one of the greatest sports franchises in the history of sports around the world. We're one of the most recognizable brands in the history of sports. I get it. I understand it. But what you have to realize is the NBA has changed.
It's not
all about us anymore. It's not all about the Celtics and the Lakers and all the big market teams. Okay. Everybody has damn near a superstar on their team now. This is the most talented I think I've seen the league. This is the most saturated I think I've seen the league. As far as teams who you see have a future because they have young talent and good coaching. Like the NBA is a beat 'em up league now. There's no easy wins.
Mm-hmm.
In a 32 league, 30 or 32. It's either 30 or 32. How many
32, I think.
Teams, right? We are not going to steamroll people with a 34-year-old LeBron James and a bunch of third and second year players. We're not going to do that. I just want to know. I said 45, 50 games. I was like adding LeBron James and adding people to our roster, these veterans, we're going to at least make us 10 to 12 games better. 10 to 12 games better. We won 35 games last year. We're 8 games into this season. I just want to know, when are y'all going to shut up and let them play? It's a rhetorical question because they're not going to shut up and let them play. But this is my problem about today. Magic and LeBron lied, and that's why I said fuck both of them. You don't tell the fan base, and you don't tell me, hey, this year is all about us getting better. Hey, this year is all about us trying to make the playoffs. We know what the threshold is. It's 45 to 50 games. We got to win anywhere in between that to get in the playoffs. And the main point was for our young guys to get better. Now Magic go get our coach, who he did not hire, who has done a great job developing our guys because they've gotten better this year through the 8 games. And he wants to tell him, hey, man, you need to speed the process up. No, Magic Johnson, maybe go get a center.
Yeah, because what, y'all got JaVale McGee or something like that?
Yeah, JaVale McGee gone this year, though.
But he's playing well this year.
Right.
How about go get us some more big men, okay? How about
exactly a power forward?
Yeah. How about don't sign Michael Beasley? How about don't sign Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? How about that, Magic? Why don't you do your job, Magic?
That's right. I mean, he is a GM. He is a GM.
Don't lie to people, okay? And then tell Luke, hey, man, your job's not on the line. And then 8 games into the season, you're like, you need to kind of speed this up. No, fam. No,
don't forget that one of your key players was suspended for 4 games too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's right, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. In the 8 games, we had a starting point guard.
That's right, Rajon Rondo, who's suspended.
Yeah. And then our starting power small forward was out for 4 games. Fam, it
adds up. It adds up. It does.
None of it makes sense to me. It literally screams of the behavior of bad franchises. And that's why I tweeted out today, we're the Los Angeles Browns. This is what it sounds like. This is what the Phoenix Suns do. This is what the Sacramento Kings used to do. This is what the Knicks do.
The Kings are pretty cold this year.
They are cousins left.
He said used to.
Used to do. They have owners, they have a new stadium, and they have drafted well the last 3 seasons. And that's why they are where they are right now. It's patience. It's patience.
Right.
Laker fans aren't patient.
That is true.
So, can I give a quick shout out to the Kings for making that Celtics pick worse and worse now? So Philadelphia don't look as bad for that Markelle Fultz trade.
Okay. I'm not done.
Just a quick shout out.
I'm just getting it. You know what? Screw your Celtics and screw your Sixers for doing and voodoo for draft picks.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
shit.
a Lakers fan. No, shut up. No.
I know. It's a rivalry. I got you.
I'm more bad now. Okay. We should have our draft picks. Okay. We should have our draft picks. But the Bus family, the 2 sons screwed us over.
The Bust Down family.
I mean, y'all.
I don't. There's nothing else. This is why I didn't want LeBron to come to my team, bro. That dude's my favorite basketball player of all time. But I knew him coming to our team was going to lead to this because it's nothing but Kobe. Just the first 8 games, it's nothing but Kobe fans wanted to see him,
right,
and then calling yourself a Lakers fan. That doesn't make any sense. Go over there and deep throat Kobe in the corner. I don't want to. LeBron fans really, honestly, are annoying. That's why I'm a LeBron fan, not a LeBron fan, because all they think is that dude can just bow people over and score triple-double every game and lead us to the promised land, and that's not going to happen. We have Laker fans who have P for brains when it comes to basketball and think that everything is going to come easy because we have LeBron James and we're the Lakers. No.
Well, see, they saw what he could do in the finals, how he carried Cleveland, so they think of the same thing. I hate to say it. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking the same thing. They're like, well, what he did in Cleveland, he can carry us to the finals too. And it's like you're in the Western Conference now, totally different area.
Not even we're in the Western Conference.
But your division.
Yeah, but no, it's not even that. Lakers fans can't even be honest with themselves. They keep saying the shooting thing. We don't need shooting. For the love of God, we are the 7th best offense in the league. We're averaging 5 points in the paint. We don't need shooting. We need to play defense, but we don't have the personnel to be a good defensive team because Magic freaking Johnson didn't build the team right. And now he wants to go blame the coach.
Yeah, that I was kind of surprised about. I was like, why are you going off of Luke Walton? Like, why is he catching this backlash?
I'm being serious. We fire him. I'm through with this season. I don't care.
That would be a big mistake for them to do that. They should let him finish out the season first.
No, it's not even finish out the season. Let him coach.
Yeah.
Don't blame the guy when you give him
right.
It makes no sense. And that's what all these NBA basketball writers are saying today. It's like, I don't think this move came from LeBron. I really honestly think this came. I think LeBron knows. That's why LeBron's averaging 28, 9, and 8, and he's in his 3rd gear right now. LeBron he's adjusted to the Western Conference really quickly. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Like, he's still at the top of his game. He has to pace himself, though, because he has a young team. He knows that.
Right, because you're starting all over from scratch. Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind LeBron knows deep down he's going to get this team to the playoffs. It's just, what are they going to look like when we get there? I think he knows the process, right? I think we got a 3-year window. We got this year to get better, and we have 2 years to win a championship. We're not going to win it on his 4th year because he'll be 38, and there's no way in the world would do that. But 34, 35, 36-year-old LeBron James, barring injuries, knock on wood, yes, we can get this done. But patience. And I don't know if Laker fans have that because they are just insufferable. And Derek, this is the problem you're a Celtics fan, dog. Y'all are a proud franchise, but y'all not a big franchise. Y'all are not the franchise that everybody looks for to be the glitz and glamour of the NBA like we are. And the fans eternalize that. So be proud that your team could build basically undercover. Jerron, you too. Y'all are fans of 2 very proud historic franchises in the NBA, but they're not as big as ours. Be proud that y'all are able to build, albeit Philadelphia had some scrutiny, but they end up turning that into like a laughing stock. Into now it's like everybody wants to trust the process with their franchise. Like everybody wants to do that. So that's the thing, bro. Be proud about how your teams have built their teams up from being in bad situations to now y'all are two of the best teams in the NBA. Be proud of that. I can't do that in peace.
All right, so
I can't do that. Done? No, I'm not done.
Damn. I got some energy for that. I got some serious energy for you. So finish with your diatribe.
Just don't make sense. Derek, what the hell are you about to say to me that's gonna change my mind?
Oh no, it's not. I agree with you. It's Lakers thing. But I want you to finish because I'm gonna come at you from another angle.
It's just frustrating, man. Like I can't enjoy wins and losses just for the sake of wins and losses. There always got to be some angle. Like oh my God. Like I knew this was going to be a crazy season just because of the circus. But
the bar was set too damn high for y'all.
No, John, the bar was not set high. You set the expectations for yourself as a fan. Right. I don't do that when my team is rebuilding.
Right. And that's what I think a lot of the fans were expecting.
A 30-story window. That's them doing that. And now they're splat on the pavement.
That's true.
That's them. And then they want to get on Twitter and complain.
I've seen that. Yeah.
That they thought. And I'm like, well, you A, didn't pay attention. B, you don't know basketball. C, you probably should shut up and let the team get better. Or D, just stop watching. If it brings you that much like pain.
I think what's the worst is the Kobe fans. It's the Kobe fans. They would say things like, man, if we had Kobe on our team, we'd do so much better. And it's like, come on, let that go.
I'm going to be done after this story. I'm going to be done. My parents and my sister went to LA. I had to stay here.
I remember that.
Right. They go to the game against the Nuggets. They win that game. But did you know in the fourth quarter when they were trailing, do you know Staples Center broke out in a chant? Kobe, Kobe,
Oh
Kobe.
no.
Now, see, this is what makes me mad. You can't, Lakers fans, get on your knees to the point where they're bruised and deep throat LeBron James for 3 years to get him to come to the Staples Center. And then his second home game, because things are not going your way, you chant Kobe Bryant's name. A dude hasn't played for our team in 5 years. How disrespectful is that? Like, and I wouldn't blame LeBron James if he said something after the game. Like, this is disrespectful. I didn't come here to subject myself to this. It's disrespectful to him. And Magic's being disrespectful to Luke Walton. And that's my problem. It looks like what the Browns just went through the last 2 weeks. It's a bunch of undermining because the pressure's too much. And
Because it can't handle the fan base. Yeah.
And we're not supposed to be that way. That's my problem. We look like the Browns. So yeah, I'm done now. Screw this season, fam. For real.
All right.
Dang.
Okay, so anybody have anything they want to say real quick?
Real quick, all I was gonna say is Jake, just hang in there. That's all. I know the fan base is annoying. I know Laker Nation is being a pain in the ass right now. But I would say I will give your team a chance. And I would like to see them do well. And I just want to see them play, really, at the end of the day. Just see them play good basketball, really. I mean, I'm not gonna be like they gotta go to the finals. When LeBron moved there, I was like, that's great. That's great. Now you guys have, a chance to rebuild your franchise. But that's all I gotta say, I just want to see how they do this year. That's all. That's the only thing that matters. I'm just curious. All right.
See. Okay. First of all, for the Kobe stands in LA,
Jerron,
I don't know why y'all are chanting for Kobe when I'm pretty sure y'all the same people that wanted Kobe out when he retired. So
talk about it, fam.
Don't chant Kobe now.
Go there
because Kobe in his last years of his career wasn't leading y'all nowhere either. So
right,
don't chant his name now because y'all wanted him out when he retired. So I don't know what y'all doing. See, the problem is LeBron James, his presence in any basketball team is literally makes the fans of that team, it's like, oh, we got to get championship or bust.
Right.
Which is the reason why, even though I wanted to accept LeBron on the 76ers, but I kind of in the back of my mind didn't want LeBron. Because if you bring LeBron, then everything needs to speed up because the media, the fans, everybody is like, oh, LeBron's on your team, championship or bust.
Right.
So,
oh my God. He's my spirit animal right now.
Oh my. So, okay, the problem is with the whole Magic Luke Walton thing. Magic, you were a great basketball player. You know how this game works. How you gonna go to your coach only after 8 games when literally, arguably, your second best player on the team was suspended for 4 games? Your point guard that you want to lead the team was suspended, 3 games? Was it 3 games? Yeah, 3 games.
Yeah.
So that means 5 games you had your starting point guard out of 8. And 4 games out of 8 you had your small forward. And you're 3-5. But you want to put pressure on your coach because you're not winning enough? You didn't have your whole team for half the games. What are you doing? It's weird. LeBron is, like I said, like Jake said, LeBron knows that it's going to be a process. He knows he's dealing with young people. He's still doing what he needs to do. Like I said, averaging 28 points. Lonzo's looking good right now.
Yes.
The team is actually looking good out there. And every game y'all lost,
that's the big.
Y'all been in the game. It's not like y'all got blown out.
No, that's
right. Close games.
Like even close games.
That's literally what I'm saying. These are close games. You can clearly see we are a better. Each young guy who we said last season was supposed to get better has gotten better. We see
Kyle
it.
Kuzma doing
Kyle
this
Kuzma,
thing.
yep, yeah, Kyle
Josh
Kuzma,
Hart
Lonzo
really
Ball.
doing this thing. Lonzo trying to jump shot, so he's doing this thing. Like,
yeah, like they just need to play together some more, and that's why I'm saying like we are playing well. The wins and the losses aren't showing that we are playing well, but the front office is acting like this is game 54 and we're 20 and 34. Like we're just trash. We're mud. It's crazy, man. Go ahead, Jerron, man. I'm just
Dang.
no, it's just like y'all win 2 games, y'all back at 500. Y'all win 3 games, y'all got a winning record again. Like,
right?
It's just
it's possible to do.
I want to say that it's the media's fault that this pressure is really building up because
they gassed it.
ESPN and Fox News, all they want to talk about, oh, LeBron didn't win this game. He's not clutch. Like, that's so stupid. That's a stupid argument. Or the Lakers don't look good. Oh, they blowing fourth quarter leads. And it's just like, yo, they gotta gain chemistry with each other. Like they only play 8 games with each other. The players LeBron got are young. They have one big man, JaVale McGee, which he is playing well, but when he gets tired, which he is going to get tired, then who's your next big man?
JaVale McGee has asthma. He actually has that condition. So you won't see JaVale McGee play like 40 minutes. He needs to get
facts. These are things we know.
So like, I don't know what Magic expect out of Luke. Luke's doing his job. A coach is supposed to develop his players. His players develops. You can see it in their games. Now he just needs to get a game plan with having a transcendent talent as LeBron James. He got to figure out how it's going to work. But you got to give him at least 30 games to figure it out, not 8. But that's all I got to say on that. The media and the fans putting pressure on the Lakers. Magic, I don't know why he's going to panic mode because out of all GMs or presidents of basketball operations, wherever he is, you would think he would be the one that knows the best how these things go and how long it takes.
Yeah, because he's been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what he's doing, but I don't think Luke's getting fired anytime soon. I think everything will calm down eventually. But
exactly.
We'll see. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So I can go right now, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So let me get this stuff out the way, the basic stuff, this surface stuff. It's 8 games into the season, which means we are a little under 10% done with the season. Okay. So out of that 10%, you have won almost 40% of those games, right? And I guess the argument is, you have glaring issues defensively, and yada yada yada. Y'all need to fix that. Defense is an issue thing. I will say that defense is an effort thing. It is something that needs to be coached. They need to figure out who's going to guard who can guard who, how to switch, and that will take time. But on a game-to-game basis, it's also an effort thing. So you can call publicly. No, you don't call out a team for playing poorly off of 8 games in any facet of the game, including defense. But it could be addressed. It could be addressed behind closed doors because Magic Johnson, like we all know, is one of the best point guards ever, if not the best point guard ever. He's going to know a thing or two about good defense. So that's one. I don't think publicly was the right way to say it, but I'm sure privately Magic Johnson can bring it up. The whole issue is that Magic Johnson went public with this. So I'm going to go ahead and establish he shouldn't have gone public. He shouldn't have made those comments to get. I guess the main purpose of this is to get Luke Walton riled up, to get the team riled up, to get the team to rally. That's the only reason why I think somebody who I think is as smart as Magic Johnson would even have the thought to utter these to the media. Like I'm guessing he's just trying to get a rise out of the team. So it obviously to me was the wrong decision. If it was to do anything other than to rile the team and to rile up the coach, to galvanize the team. If the purpose was anything other than that, then Magic Johnson is far less insightful and far less knowledgeable about basketball, at least in this instance, than I thought he was. So getting that out the way, defense needs to be coached up. Number 2, Luke Walton learned this lesson last year, and yet he sacrificed some games to learn. Lonzo Ball is your guy. And is he LeBron? No. Well, he should have been the starting point guard from day one. Number 1, he matched up better with pretty much every point guard in the league. He is a better cover defensively
Facts.
than Rajon Rondo. So the fact that you had to lose games to learn that lesson when you already learned that lesson last year, that's on you, Luke. You decide who plays, and who plays when. LeBron has to learn how to play with these teammates, but guess who already knows how to play with the guys who are already there? Lonzo Ball. Guess who knows how to get the guys the ball where it needs to go, where they like it? Lonzo Ball. Guess who knows who should be calling out the defense for the guys who were on that team? We were I remember I think it was Skip saying that LeBron was calling out who should switch where. That should be Lonzo's job because Lonzo has played with the majority of the players on this team since last year. So your floor general up until LeBron gets up to speed is Lonzo Ball. You should not have played him less minutes, and you should not have brought him off the bench. That could be the difference between a lot of the games they won and lost. That is on Luke Walton. You shouldn't have had to have Rondo get suspended to learn that lesson. I'm sorry. That is on Luke Walton. But other than that, this is just LA panicking. This is just a naive team. Not naive in terms of like basketball acumen, because I do think LA knows basketball. Well, I think they've seen enough good basketball to know good basketball, and anything other than good basketball is appalling to them, is what I should say. I don't know if they know basketball in and out. What I will say is they are naive to any LeBron James-led team. Every year we see LeBron James-led teams either stumble out of the gate or hit some type of crazy midseason slide. It's any LeBron James led team's MO. We do this every year. We did this with the Heat towards the tail end of his 4 years there, and we did it with the Cavs. We did it with an inferior Cavs roster last year that made it to the NBA Finals. Now, obviously, just getting to the NBA Finals is not granted, but I just think it's hilarious that people have such short memories to remember that this happens every year with LeBron James-led team. Especially one where he is leaving his old team to come play with new teammates. So the fact that people are panicking over under 10% of the games when you really just need to win like 55, 57% of your games to get into the playoffs in the West, I find it amusing because it's like y'all really, you guys are really trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. And I agree with Jake there. It's like y'all need to calm your asses, calm down, sit down, drink some tea, go get yourself a Whataburger, go get yourself some In-N-Out, chill out. It's going to be good. That's number 1. Number 2, going to Magic Johnson. Talking about his basketball acumen, I don't know how much Magic catered to what LeBron wanted, because I don't know why this roster was made the way it was. Like I do hear frustration in how unbalanced this roster is, and it's apparent. It just doesn't make sense to have some of these guys.
Derek, right quick. I'm not frustrated because I think the roster is built wrong. I think the way he has our roster built is good. It's just some people he signed were questions. Right?
Yeah, I definitely don't see the point in having a couple of the guys you have on the team.
I see KCP because he doesn't play. Josh Hart and Brandon Ingram are going to play the 2 regardless, right? Like there's certain guys they should not have resigned. I think we over-resigned people because there's like Mikhailo, I want to get some run. Jonathan Williams has played himself into some rotation minutes these 8 games. And we have Wagner coming back, our first-round draft pick. Remember, he has not played.
So
he's gonna play his first game. The next game we play. So
my whole thing is getting aside from just telling the Lakers to chill. I think it's hilarious that the Lakers, that you, Jake, of all people, call out the Lakers for being spoiled. Because
what are you talking about?
But you gotta understand how spoiled you guys really are, and how spoiled you are in pointing out how spoiled they are.
No, Derek. Derek. I understand where you about to go, fam. Yeah. Literally, my whole life, I've only seen them win. Think about that. We've gone to the playoffs, and we've won. We've gone to the second round. Those Kobe teams that he had were bad, but they got to the playoffs.
I want to ask you, Jake, what's the longest run the Lakers have ever gone through in the past 30 years without having a top 10 player?
In basketball, period?
In the last 30 years. Yeah. Top 10.
Oh, that's easy, Derek. Oh, man, dog. Really? That's not a hard question.
Longest stretch, Jake.
Longest stretch? Probably from when Magic was old in 91 when we lost to the Bulls for their first championship all the way to 96. And then in 96, that's when we got Shaq. So
5 years.
Yeah.
Do you know some franchises have ever had a true top 10 player on their team in the last 30 years?
What they got to do with me and the Lakers?
No. Because it's like you want to call out the Lakers for being spoiled.
They are.
But you have to understand you guys are super spoiled in the fact that you can get these guys. So for you to criticize your fandom for wanting excellence is kind of ironic. You know what I mean? Because you guys are.
No. I criticize people for not using their brains. I criticize.
I understand that, but I'm saying I'm not saying you are wrong to criticize, but I am saying it's just a.
Derek, let me get this straight. My critique wouldn't be critique if the number of games were different. Like, you need to understand it. All of this hinges around it's the first 8 games of the season, and we have 8 new players on our roster. Now, like I said, this is game 30. Nah. You need to go talk to Luke. And I'm being serious.
Oh yeah,
I get what you're saying, but that's just how the cards fall, dog. Like, I can't really go back in time and help
and make I know
what
you're saying. I just want to point out how crazy it is you guys are even in position to sign LeBron James. How much right?
Derek, you can't critique me as a Celtics fan. That's not not what you're doing right now.
We signed Al Horford.
Derek, you sound nuts right now.
I mean, I'm just saying, okay, it's one thing to go and construct a team.
Derek, we both can't critique each other's franchises. We have
as a 76ers fan, I can't.
Jerron, you can't critique us either because you have a top 5 franchise in the history of basketball too. Like,
okay,
but we've been trash since.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't. Derek, no, not.
What about Warriors?
Well,
not you. I can't. Especially your team built now.
No, we've been through some muddy years, Jake. I don't think I was there. I was there for
You ain't been through 76ers, man. I don't want to hear it.
After Iverson, the post Iverson.
You weren't, Jerron, you weren't there when Rick Pitino traded a Chauncey Billups his rookie year, 30 games into his rookie season.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I was there when the Celtics were literally the worst team in the NBA the year before they won the title.
Yeah, and I was there when the 76ers were literally the worst team in the NBA for 3 years.
Damn.
But that
beat, bro, they were bad. They were purposely not playing their best players.
Yeah, Mark Carter was.
We literally had no players, recognizable players on our team for 3 years.
Dude, that was a finesse. That was such a finesse. You know it.
Oh man, 3 years. Damn.
Saying in the grand scheme of things, but all three of our teams, including you, John, like you know, the Hawks are not a prestigious franchise, but they're a very stable franchise.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they are.
They had the longest playoff streak for the longest time in the NBA. Like people don't know that they went to the playoffs like what 10 straight years. 10 years?
Yep, back to back, all back to back.
I was like, God, that's consistency, and they had like 3 different coaches in that period. But that's what I'm saying, Derek. I know it's funny because as a Lakers fan, calling other Lakers fans spoiled, and we're just a spoiled franchise in general, just because all of the success and fortune we've had. But I'm just saying, just use your brain. Like if we won 35 games and we replaced what 50% of the roster with new people, it doesn't make any sense to like really just complain, you know? Like it doesn't, especially 8 games into the season, and I don't know why we're panicking.
Well,
like Derek, we really thought because this is what it is. Lakers fans, why I say they're annoying, Derek, is because they like to flex a lot. It's in LA, bro. That's a very good. They like to flex a lot. So people were excited to get on Twitter and flex on everybody, and now you can't. Especially the Warriors. Yeah, bro. Like we really think, like dudes really think, man, we can get the Warriors from run. No, we can't.
Not even close. Right now, not even close.
Y'all whole team up.
I know.
Get out my face. No, we can't. We'll be lucky if we win a game. We win a game. That's my championship. Right. For real. That's true. Because they are hard as hell to beat. Lakers fans talk a lot. And this is what I'm talking about, man. And this is where I can see it coming from. And this is what I'm about to give y'all from perspective. Lakers fans are braggadocious. They talk a lot. They're kind of like, bruh, no disrespect, Derek. They are the Boston fans of basketball. They are the New England sports fans of basketball. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they're spoiled, they're entitled. And so for 5 years, you haven't had nothing to really cheer about. But you get LeBron James. So now I can finally cheer. And now, because the season has to start the way I want it, I'm getting frustrated because I can't flex on my friends. I'm sorry that you have a small personality in such a simple mind in which you can't flex on your friends, sir. I'm trying to win a championship because that's what matters. Absolutely. And I think it's hard for some Lakers fans to eat crow. You know? It's like spoiled fan bases beat them both that fight. Yes. And be unrealistic. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, yo, I understand where you're coming from, but nah, man, you really don't. Like, you gotta be a Lakers fan to understand it. Like, Celtics fans have this thing, which I think they have been humbled so much in a franchise because they dominated the 50s and 60s, once in the 70s, like 2 in the 70s, and then had a downtime. Won all throughout the 80s, won 3 championships in the 80s. And then from that point on, until 2008, were really an afterthought. Mm-hmm. That's a long time to be an afterthought. Y'all had to swallow crow for so long. Y'all put y'all basketball perspective in perspective with the whole league. So now y'all being rewarded with your patience with having this unbelievably young, talented basketball team that's going to be good for 8-10 years. Lakers fans haven't had that, bro. We three-peated. Yep. And won 2 in a row. Yeah, three-peated and had that 2-peat. Yep. Like in this 8-9 years ago. Lakers fans ain't really used to having a drought like that. If you really just want to be honest. Other than in the 80s to the 90s, and that's why we had to make that move for Shaq, But
Right.
Derek is a completely different fan base, man. It's kind of like Alabama fans. Like when you're
Oof.
when you are Ohio State fans in college football, like when you are used to having
winning.
expectations and winning, it's hard. And you talk a bunch of crap in the first place. Nah, man, it's hard to eat crow, especially when you thought you were going to be good.
Yeah, if Alabama were to not make it to the championships,
that's all.
I remember one time when the kicker cost them that one of their games. Oh, they were ready to hang him. I was like, what? Yeah. Just because of that?
Think about this. Think about this, yo. Like, when's the last time, right? The Lakers, as like a franchise, Derek, as a franchise, right, has been ran well.
There you go.
I got you. All right.
Oh, you think you're funny?
Yeah. The last time the Lakers have been run competently. It's a very good question.
See, bruh, the fact that you couldn't answer that. And see, Lakers fans think that they're ran like Derek. It's cognitive dissonance, bro. They live in a reality in which they are the best at all times. Nothing's wrong. But when you pop that bubble, like the first 8 games, pop that bubble. Nah, fam, they can't do this. They can't live. They can't live like this.
I also want to. Do you think the franchise is run well, like during the Pau Gasol era?
Well, I got to thank Jerry West for giving up.
That trade literally shouldn't have happened.
No, it really shouldn't have. It shouldn't have.
That trade literally was it was one step below. It was actually a worse trade than the Chris Paul trade.
Whoa, there. That's still a sore subject. I don't want to talk about that.
All right, no, we got out.
And it's still. I will cheer the day David Stern passes away.
You are
damn. I understand where you're coming from on that, JT. I understand.
Why Lakers fans are in the position that we are in right now is because we did not have a backup plan to Kobe. And Chris Paul was going to be that backup plan to Kobe. Yeah, screw David Stern.
Yeah, because I remember I remember that they were trying to trade CP3.
Eric, that was a complete collusion attempt between the owners and the NBA to not give the Lakers Chris Paul because nobody likes the Lakers, fam. Everybody, Derek, the perception is the Lakers get everything for free or easy. We get all these superstars, we win, and the league grind for every superstar they have. I am sorry, Milwaukee. Giannis might leave. You are Milwaukee. I am so sorry. I want Giannis to stay. I am so sorry that your city is so bland and cold, and he doesn't want to be there, and you can't get free agents there. It's cute. You're a cute little franchise. It is not my fault. And don't take your anger out because the Lakers can get people. If you haven't looked, we don't even get free agents like that anymore. So the NBA changes. So it's really the fans and the media pushing this perception, and it's all historical because the fans and the media have always put pressure on the Lakers for some weird reason. And I thought this year would be different, but no, it's not. It's not any different. And this is going to make this season very painful to watch because Lord knows if we get on a winning streak, oh God, just obnoxious, man. Can't win easy to save my life with any of my sports teams.
Oh yeah, when the Lakers go on that winning streak, bro, the flex on Twitter gonna be so hard.
Yeah, for no reason. And you flexing about wins in a regular season, like we won something. Like it's crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. Lakers fans are spoiled and entitled. They do. And you see these things on Twitter, where this dude captioned this one tweet where it says, Laker fans don't deserve LeBron James. And then the video was that meme where it's like that dude singing, "Shut the fuck up." God damn. Like have y'all seen that on Twitter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quoted it, and I was like,
That's perfect.
the first 8 games, no, we don't deserve him. Did y'all not hear Staples Center disrespect him in his second home game? Did y'all not like? Did y'all not like catch the disrespect? No.
Man, it's terrible. It's terrible they do that man that way. That's all I gotta say.
The conundrum, and I thought this was gonna go a lot easier than what it is, and it's not. And I am not looking forward to the rest of the season. I really am not. I'm not because I'm not looking forward to the overreactions. I'm not looking forward to the ads in my mentions. I'm not. Even
In my way, I think the fans should be grateful that they even got LeBron in the first place.
Exactly.
LeBron is he's like the greatest player in the game right now.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have asked for a better pick.
John,
you got a Ferrari.
John,
I mean,
you see how spoiled they are? John, instead of like, hey guys, it's gonna take time for us to get better, they literally chanted Kobe's name at him.
That's terrible.
Like,
do you know how many teams would kill to have LeBron?
Yes.
All 31 teams would kill to have LeBron.
It's the spoiled mentality. And then people want to call me, people want to tell me, hey man, shut up. Lakers fans want to do no. We're not owed anything. And that's that mentality, Derek. Who goes around the NBA saying, no, we deserve this? No, you don't. No franchise in sports deserves no success. You gotta go out and get it. Only Laker fans thinking that sense, Derek. I can guarantee you, Celtic fans don't go around thinking we're predestined to win the championship and anything else is a bust. No. Lakers treat the championship like a birthright. Celtics treat it like a journey.
Which I respect the journey more than the birthright.
And that's the problem. We thought championship was an inevitable thing in the next 40 years. People were talking about multiple championships, and I'm like, I don't know where you're getting that from. I just want one.
What? Multiple? Dang. Woo.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's where people's minds went instead of like being logical about the situation.
I thought he was like LeBron, Miami LeBron or some shit like that all over again.
Yeah, John, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't tell me you know basketball, because if you knew basketball, you wouldn't have tricked yourself into having expectations about this. So,
right.
I'm done. I'm calmed down. I'm done. I won't talk about this no more because
I think they need to understand, instead of focusing, it's good to want to win a championship, but you got to be reasonable. That you're competing against Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
you have to even get there.
They don't want to understand. They don't understand that the season has 5 more months. They don't want to understand that. We just started November. The season ends the second week of April.
Yep, that's right. You have a ways to go. Like what, 5-6 months?
Yeah.
And 6 months including playoffs.
Nobody wants to think. And that's what I'm saying, bro. I hate my fan base. And I will say that to this day. I'm a Lakers fan, but I do not like Lakers fans. I do not get along with them. I barely get along with my dad when talking about the Lakers because it just sounds crazy to me. It's just this.
What's your dad's perspective on this? He thinks that they should be winning.
And he's like, man, we the Lakers. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Okay.
I know.
It means something? Like what? The only people that should be saying we are Lakers are the guys in the locker room that should have pride about being a successful franchise.
Right.
I don't want Lakers fans going around, man, we're the Lakers. You should get punched in your face, you dork.
You have a good point. It doesn't hold as much weight. Like, first of all,
it's corny. It's corny. What are you thinking like that? We're the Lakers and we deserve to be. No, we don't.
See, they're acting like Golden State. Like, if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, then you can, I guess you could say, all you can say is we're the Warriors, because you're the current champions and you've won back-to-back. So what can I say?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you can't. There's no argument to that. You're the Warriors. Okay, argument done. Boom.
I don't get along with Lakers fans, dog. Like, y'all think I'll be going on Twitter, and I'm saying that hyperbolic. No, I don't. I hate them. I don't like them at all. At all. No. Can't have a conversation with them because it's all stupid. Nothing is ever put in perspective or reasonable. Everything's like, so hey man, how that fourth quarter? Man, we need to go fire Luke. We need to go trade Brandon Ingram for Kawhi Leonard right now. And
oh gosh,
Kobe, we're gonna give Kobe the fountain of youth, and he's gonna heal his Achilles. He's gonna hit like 80 game winners, and we're gonna beat Golden State 3-0. But it's 4-0. No, 3-0. Yeah, that's Lakers fans.
You're right though.
That's not like stupidity, because we don't call people with mental deficiencies stupid. We, you know what I mean, like that. If you got fans that bad, Jake,
that's delusion. They're delusional.
Have you paying attention to Lakers fans? Have you just like really just sat down and listened to what they talk? And
well,
like,
I seen on Twitter. I seen some of the shit on Twitter.
Yo, like the whole. Well, you know, Kobe wouldn't miss that. Kobe.
Right? Yeah.
You know he has before, but whatever.
Exactly. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is
my
perfect.
favorite player, so like.
But nobody's
you
perfect.
think I'd be biased in this, but I'm not. Like,
but Jake, you gotta understand, LeBron has sold badly when it comes to free throws recently.
Yes, he needs to improve that. He needs to improve that.
That could be improved.
I could care less if Kobe Bryant snapped his Achilles like a baguette and hit free throws in a game that did not matter and we did not go to the playoffs. Whoop-de-dang-do for Kobe Bryant.
No, but it's not. It's weird because you have two players that played in the same era. You know what I mean? The thing is,
no, Derek, Kobe Bryant is a completely different prime than LeBron James.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Steph Curry played in LeBron James era. Kobe is his own era. Kobe is like, if you were to say an era, Kobe is like Tim Duncan, Shaq.
Yeah.
Kobe era. That's an era in on itself.
Is it
completely different eras? Like,
yes.
When Kobe first won his championship in 2009, that is when LeBron James began being the best player in the NBA from 2009 up.
Right.
I would agree with that.
Right. They're completely different players and completely different eras and play completely different. And you are not a Lakers fan if you are a Kobe fan.
Yep.
Like, I'm glad I didn't go to the game, because the minute they started chanting Kobe, that I would have turned to Lakers fan like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you realize the dude that we begged to come here can hear this? This is his second home game. You think he appreciate this?
LeBron like, damn, I should have went to Philly.
See, that's the thing.
Maybe.
They don't think about that. It's just a reaction. Well, Kobe would have hit an 80-foot jump shot while on fire.
Well, see, that's what I was going back to saying. Like, they're not grateful that they got LeBron James. That's a once in a lifetime type of deal, you know? Because he's went to Cleveland, Miami, and now he's got you guys, Lakers, LA Lakers. So it's like 3 teams. Wow.
It's entitlement. 8 games into the season and this much entitlement.
I'm sure Cleveland would love to have him back.
I'm not even looking forward to next season, because I know we're going to be a better team with free agents. Then you really going to see how obnoxious they are.
Oh, man.
No,
they need to take some humble pie.
Yo, we are not a humble franchise. Like, what? Man, somebody must have lied.
I know. Somebody probably did. Well, see, everybody envisioned them winning the championship this year. That's the thing. You know, all these odds and favors, you know, oh, yeah, we're going to go ahead and win the championship this year. You know, we're going to stomp Golden State and all that shit. But that's not always going to be the case. You know, play the season out first, see how it goes this year, then go from there. Shoot. But I don't know. Everybody's already like prejudging, and we just got started and people are freaking out, even though it's way too early to freak out, you know. Just give it some time. Shoot, and I'm an Atlanta fan, so I know I have to be patient. So they need to be patient too. I'm just putting it out there.
Anybody else got anything to say? Because I'm like done with the season already.
I'm done too. Me too.
I mean, if we want to start wrapping up.
Y'all got nothing else? No?
I'm looking forward to UGA playing against Kentucky. I hope they just win. That's all I gotta say.
That's your last take. What's your last takes tonight, guys? What y'all
Uh,
looking?
I mean, I'm gonna take it from you guys. Shout out to D Rose.
Yeah,
It's really inspiring. Because if you've watched basketball over the last 10 years, D Rose probably was on the pace to be probably one of a top, I would say, 10 point guard of all time.
yes,
If I'm being honest.
yeah.
He was Russell Westbrook athletic. I would say he was a bit of a better passer than Russ is, and he was just Gumby athletic, like word that Jake would use. Just jumps out the gym. Literally was throwing like he was unbelievable.
He's the only dude that make layups. Exciting.
The way if you saw just how differently Derrick Rose played, because Derrick Rose's most of his game was predicated on his ability to get to the rim, contort his body to keep the ball away from the defender and lay the ball up, or to fight through contact, or to just throw it down over you. Because Derrick Rose, you want to go back and look at YouTube, because thank God Derrick Rose played in the beginning of the YouTube era, because it would be tough to try to show my kids or my younger brothers how good Derrick Rose was with that grainy, nasty, early 2000s, late 90s stuff, especially when we didn't know this was the best we were going to see of Derrick Rose. I digress. Point is, Derrick Rose wins Rookie of the Year. 3 years later, wins MVP, youngest MVP ever. Guy averaged 25 and 8.
Oh no, Derek. He averaged 29 and 8.
Oh,
29.
God.
He led the league in scoring that year. No, I think LeBron did. LeBron beat him in scoring, but he won the MVP.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he averaged something like 26, 25 and 8.
I thought it was 29 points per game. I thought it was close to 30.
Point was, at that time, it had been a while since a point guard had scored and distributed the ball at that rate efficiently. Before we saw Russ go for back-to-back triple-doubles, basically D Rose was Russ before Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
And to see him go from that, and we saw D Rose, he had to struggle with the behemoth that was LeBron, who basically gate kept D Rose when D Rose was healthy from really reaching that NBA Finals. Right?
Bro, those Chicago versus Miami games,
Sad.
Yeah.
bro, those things used to be hype.
Two best defensive teams versus each other.
Yeah.
And it was just Derrick Rose and LeBron trying to make plays in the fourth quarter, just trying to will the team, because the scores were always ugly. They were like 80 something to 80 something.
Yep. Very close. Very close.
It's crazy. Those games were great. Yeah, man.
To see how quickly Derrick Rose's star was rising, and just to see it all get taken away.
He just had to play Philadelphia in the playoffs.
Yeah. Derrick Rose got marred in some crazy scandal involving, I don't even want to get into that. Point is, he had to go through a lot off the court and on the court. He cleared his name, I would say. I don't think he didn't get convicted or anything like that. He cleared his name.
Derek, but the lady's appealing in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I mean, we don't know the facts of the case,
The case, John. So that's why it's
gotcha.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for him. I am proud that he was able to turn this around, getting those 50 points. It's well deserved.
The thing is, Derrick Rose has had to change the way he plays basketball almost completely. To get that 50. And that's what's so beautiful, because Derrick Rose before, if you thought pre-injury, how would Derrick Rose get 50 points? Yeah, he would have some jumpers. Yeah, but it would mostly be from Derrick Rose basically eviscerating you at the rim, getting crazy tomahawk dunks, getting putbacks. And I'm making him sound like he was a power forward. No, he was a 6'3" point guard with bunnies. You know what I mean? He would twist and turn at the rim. It was like D Rose was like, to me, like a way more athletic version, a bigger version of AI in a way.
Yeah, he wish he could score like AI. Like,
Yeah.
I think AI is a better scorer of the basketball at all different parts on the floor.
Mhm.
Derek at the rim is just
He was unbelievable.
Yeah, like if you did not do anything to slow Derrick Rose down in the lane and he gets his gather, he's going to throw it on you at that point.
Yeah, he was one of those guys where you put as guys who basically unstoppable with full headed steam in their primes. Obviously, to me, I put LeBron James number 1, but Derrick Rose probably to me top 5, top 10 in the league. Like not top 3 in the league at his time. I can't say top 5, top 10.
He's unstoppable. Yeah.
So like to see how differently he has to play, because he still goes, he gives you reverse layups, but it's not the same. He's not getting up as high as he used to. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the same hang time. He can't rely on his first step to blow by guys. You know what I mean? Derrick Rose, that 50 points was all skill. I'm not going to say he didn't have any athleticism, but it was him literally like using his handle, using his jumper, using his smarts to get that 50. And that's what was so beautiful about it, because Derrick Rose, he had all the athleticism in the world, but to see him play himself and, teach himself how to become a more complete basketball player so he can get that 50 points and 6 assists, that's what's so amazing. Because I'm not going to say he had everything, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, he could have been taller, or, just he could be Zion Williamson, you know what I mean? That type of freak athlete. But for him to have all the gifts he had, and for us to watch him have to lose the majority of that to see him come back and do what he did with that 50-point game is inspiring. And that's what sports really allows us to do sometimes, is to draw inspiration from people. You know what I mean? To look at situations and to look at what people have to go through and just try to use your own empathy to see that if these people can overcome these things, then maybe you can internalize some of that and really, seek to better yourself, better your situation. So shout out to D Rose. Really proud of him. I hope we get to see him get more opportunities, because from that game alone, obviously he looks like, an all-star. But if he could continue to play like that, not at a 50-point level, I do think he could be a starter. And what's crazy is we saw even last year, D Rose literally wasn't even worth a grain of salt on the Cavs.
No, he wasn't.
He was on that Cavs roster. He got traded away to Utah. Never to be seen. I think he got cut.
Yeah, he got cut, and then he signed with the Timberwolves.
Right. So literally, for him to go and literally a year later put up 50 against the team that said, all right, yeah, good luck. You know what I mean? We just traded for you for filler so you get Jay Crowder. It's amazing. It's an amazing story. So shout out to D Rose. That's me.
All right, Jerron, you got anything? Last statements?
I mean, Derek has said it also.
Yeah. That's my last statement. Yeah, D Rose. Hopefully he does become the starter. I would like for him to become the starter. I think he's a little bit better of an option than Jeff Teague. It just sucks he plays on that Timberwolves team that has controversy.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm looking forward to this college football weekend. Like John, Alabama's going to steamroll LSU. I hope LSU wins. That'll be cool, but I don't see it happening. Georgia's going to beat Kentucky. Enjoy the football this weekend, gentlemen. That's all I really have to say. I think I'm done. Let it
John
reach you.
John, you got anything to say?
I was gonna say. I mean, it's pretty much just looking forward to football this weekend, and primarily see my Falcons get a W, and hopefully UGA get a W too. And so, looking forward to that.
All right.
But yeah, Y'all can reach me at Mr. Vacation 14 on Twitter.
Okay.
You
John?
guys can reach me on Twitter at Crass Captions. I am more than happy to get into some ignorance if I have, the time of day. But just make sense, please. Don't be like the Lakers fans that Jake apparently interacts with. That's all.
And you can find me at RNVP _ JRon. I don't want no ignorance on Twitter. I don't got time for it. So
Amen to that. Amen to that.
And the only thing I gotta say is 76ers don't put Ben and Markel on the court at the same time because obviously they both need the ball to be effective. So put Markel on the bench. That's your second unit leader because he works better with the ball in his hand. That's all I gotta say.
Do that Rockets thing where you stagger them.
Yeah, you can stagger them too, but I'm just saying just because they're just not effective on the court at the same time because they both need the ball to be effective.
One of them needs to develop a jump shot.
They both need to develop a jump shot, actually, not just one, both of them. Then you're gonna have to shoot eventually. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to. I know you don't want to, but you're gonna have to. If you want to be great, you're gonna have to.
That's a story for another podcast. What do you got, Jake?
You can find me at JTRNVP on Twitter. Lakers fans, I love you, but I fucking hate you at the same time. Yeah. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the sports. It was a great podcast, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm awake at the end of the podcast.
I was like, he made it. Yeah.
Let's go. So
that's good.
This is great. This is awesome. Also, stop faking the funk if you're not a Lakers fan. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. That's the last time I'm gonna say. Don't fake the funk because I know you're not a Lakers fan. I know you're not. Just the way you tweet, just the way you talk about the team. I know you're not a Lakers fan. Stop faking the funk. It's okay. It's okay.
You got some perpetrators up in there?
Oh no, they're like the majority of the fan base is perpetrators, but that's a whole different story for a whole different day.
Well, we need to plan that for next time.
Yeah. So, guys, that is RNVP episode 4, sports and music. That was great. That was great.
You should just call it